Up front, Marcel will win another Kings scoring championship. Currently has a 25-point lead over Bernie Nichols. 45 goals, 75 assists, 120 points. Nichols with 95 points. And here with the first period, Bob Miller.
All right, Nick, thank you very much. And off the faceoff, the puck comes down into the Calgary zone, and Paul Reinhard back in action tonight after missing Saturday night's game. Starts it out for the Flames, passes up to the red line to Tim Hunter. Hunter is bumped there by Jay Wells. Puck is against the boards right near the King blue line, taken away by the Kings. Here's McClellan to center, trying to give it to Galley at the red line, taken away by Steve Conroy. Ahead now, and Kerry Wilson of Calgary drives it back behind the King net. Cut off there by Janicek. He dropped it down. It's picked up by Wells, but his pass taken away. Now Jay gets up and throws a hip check at Kerry Wilson. Puck bounces to the blue line, and Taylor takes it for the Kings. Taylor up to center. Taylor across the red line, drives it back behind the Flame net. The puck is cut off there by Donnie Edwards, and he leaves it for Reinhardt. He into forecheck Marcel Dion. Reinhardt passes on the right side. Here's Kerry Wilson, one of the outstanding rookies in the league, passing into the Kings zone. Going to be a delayed offside, but the Kings take it. Clear it back to center. Gave it away to Kerry Wilson. He shoots, and it's just wide to the left side. Puck taken by Mike Eaves of Calgary in the King zone. Eaves trying to get around Galley. Galley bumps him into the boards to the left of the King net. And the puck back behind the net. Danny Quinn tried to roll it out in front, poked away by Janicek. Taken by Taylor. Tipped away from him in the King zone by Eaves. Engblom covers up. Engblom to Ruskowski, and he tips it out to center. 18:45 to go in the first period. No score in the game. Baxter for the Flames. Now to Beers with a drive and a glove save by Janicek. And he hangs on for the faceoff. Looked like the shot from Beers from the left wing might have been going high and over the net, but Bobby Janicek of the Kings gloved it. Hangs on for the faceoff. This is an official copyrighted broadcast of California sports and the Los Angeles Kings, and is intended solely for the private non-commercial use of our audience. Any reproduction, rebroadcast, or other use of the accounts of this game without the express written consent of the Kings is prohibited.
Well, we mentioned Pat Quinn will juggle lines 3 and 4 tonight, and Smith has Williams on his left and Phil Sykes tonight on the right, replacing Steve Shutt, who is not in the lineup. They're out there now.
Flames with it, shot wide from the slot by Kent Nilsson, picked up now and cleared by Engblom up to center ice. It deflects off a skate and taken in a hard check on Perry Berezan by the Kings' Craig Redmond as he bumped Berezan. Now the Flames still hold it in. Nilsson, he tried to pass up the middle of Crom. Taken away from him. Back come the Kings to center. Here's Redmond passing on the right wing. Tiger Williams to Sykes. Now to Tiger Williams down the left side and just out of his reach. Williams bumped hard by McCowan. McCowan comes out with a puck for Calgary. Runs head on into into Sykes. Knocks him down. Here's Crom with a drive from the left side. Block. Crom again hits the side of the net. Now chases it up against the boards. He's bumped there, and back to get it for the Kings is Craig Redmond. Tiger Williams also there, and the Kings start out of their own zone. Kings moving right to left. Up to center on the left wing is Phil Sykes, and he drives it in. Kings in a must-win situation tonight, and again Friday night if they want to keep any hopes alive for third place in the Smythe division. Flames, Poplinski sends it into the King zone, and covering it up is Bob Janicek with 17:37 left to go in the first period, and we have no score in the game.
First couple of shifts dominated by the Calgary Flames. Mike Eaves along with Richard Crom getting some good pressure inside the Kings blue line, forcing a couple of mistakes. The Kings without a shot on goal yet. No pressure on goaltender Don Edwards.
Face off to the right of Janicek, and off the draw he drags it back behind the net. Kings with it. Hardy's pass up to center ice out of the reach of Jim Fox, taken away by the Flames. Kari Eloranta to Bourgeois. His pass stolen by the Kings. Hardy drives it into the Flame zone, and now right in front of the bench we've got a fight between Russ Anderson of the Kings and who is it? 29, Joel Otto. That's who it is, Joel Otto of the Calgary Flames. Now they are working their way down in front of the Flames bench. Russ Anderson of the Kings and Joel Otto of the Calgary Flames, and Otto's got Russ Anderson bent over the boards and right in front of the Flames bench, and Russ really almost helpless to do anything. Nick, it looks like his feet are up off the ice, and the linesmen are over there trying to break it up right now. So that's one of the big youngsters that the Flames have, Joel Otto, and he got into it right between the benches with
He's
Russ
6'4",
Anderson.
215. Russ Anderson 6'3", 210. So a couple of heavyweights as finally the linesmen separate the two. Russ Anderson had his helmet half off, and you know, a lot of situations when players kind of just wrestle each other and the linesmen get in there, they can get into a situation where they're being choked by their own helmet straps, and or the jersey getting up over their shoulders, and I don't know if that was the situation, but they're separated and escorted to the penalty boxes.
Number 29, Joel Otto. Los Angeles penalty to number 4, Russ Anderson. 5 minutes each for fighting. Time of the penalties, 2:35.
Well, the faceoff will be down in the Calgary zone to the right of the goaltender, Don Edwards. Bernie Nichols out to take the draw for the Kings. So 5 minutes each for fighting to Joel Otto of Calgary and to Russ Anderson of the Kings. In the nets tonight, as Nick said, only his 31st game of the year for Donnie Edwards. The Calgary goaltender, he has won only 8, lost 15, and tied 1. His goals against is 4.40. Anders Hawkinson was going to take the face-off, but now Carl Mokosak, a former member of the Flames, comes in to take the draw. The draw won by Kerry Wilson to Bourgeois, over to Kari Eloranta. Flames are moving left to right. Here they come to center ice. Here's Kerry Wilson down the left side into the King zone. Drop pass for Hunter, shooting, deflected wide. Back behind the net, Kerry Wilson goes for there. He's bumped by Jay Wells, and Wells clears it around the boards, and it bounces all the way back down into the Calgary zone. Chased down by Kari Eloranta. Flames moving left to right. First period, 17 minutes to go in the period. No score in the game. Good check by Mokosak on Kerry Wilson. Puck taken by the Calgary Flames. Pass up to center ice by Gino Cavallini. Broken up. Kings with it. Here comes J.P. Kelly. He gives it on the right wing to Mokosak. He shoots, and it's wide to the right side. Rebound off the boards, held in by Jay Wells. He wraps it around the right wing corner. Taken away by Cavallini. He is bumped by J.P. Kelly. Puck taken by the Flames. No score first period. Tim Hunter for Calgary drives it down the length of the ice. This will be icing against Calgary as Gary Galley gets back to touch it. 16:31 left to go. First period. No score in the game. And Kings hockey being brought to you by your Toyota dealer and the roomy 1985 Family Camry, the car the critics raved about, and by Inglenook, a special place or time. To an LA sports fan, it's rooting for the Kings, and Inglenook Vineyards is glad to be part of it.
First good pressure by the Kings, Hawkinson, Kelly, and Mokosak.
Now a shot from the left point by the Kings, Brian Engblom, and a stick save by Edwards. Flames clear it to center, taken away by the Kings. Here is Redmond giving it to McClellan down the middle. McClellan cuts to the right side, Flames zone. Here's Mack in the right circle, shooting, and it's just wide. Rebound, left point, Engblom. Engblom's pass behind the net, broken up by Steve Conroy of Calgary. He gives it to Eddie Beers. Beers clears it up to center. Mike Eaves with it, tipped away from him. Kings with it, pass eluded Taylor, and is taken by the Calgary Flames. Eddie Beers out of Denver University fires it into the Kings zone, and back to get it is Engblom. He's bumped by Danny Quinn. Now Beers knocks Redmond down. Puck taken by the Kings. Here's Dion up to McClellan on the left wing. Here's Mack down the left side. McClellan cutting in. He gets pulled down, and a penalty to Calgary. A penalty to Paul Reinhart. Puck is held in by the Kings. Delayed call. Kings with it. And now it's taken away. Taylor's pass intercepted by Eaves. And we'll be back with a King power play in 30 seconds. This is the Los Angeles Kings Hockey Network.
Calgary penalty to number 23, Paul Reinhart. 2 minutes for hooking. Calgary penalty, 4:19. Repeating, Calgary penalty to number 23, Paul Reinhart. 2 minutes for hooking, time 4:19.
Power play to the Kings. Reinhart for hooking McClellan at 4:09. On the power play, the Kings are third in the NHL. Penalty killing the Flames near the bottom, 19th.
Now he got a penalty right now. Interference going to be called against.
I think it's holding on Tiger Williams.
Yeah, holding is right. Holding the call on Tiger Williams right off the faceoff. Tiger Williams gets called 2 minutes for holding, and he has a few words for referee Andy Van Helleman, and he skates in another circle and goes by him. Tiger grabbed Jamie McCowan and threw him into the board. So Kings had only a 5-second power play on that.
So both clubs will be shy a skater for 1:55 as Doug Smith comes out. Jim Fox up front. Redmond and Engblom back. Another 4-on-4 skating situation, and these situations have not been kind to the Kings this year.
Back behind the Flame net as they move up left to right. Here's Kari Eloranta. He sends it ahead. Now on the right wing, Peplinski trying to jump in around Engblom, and Bryan takes him out of the play. Redmond picks up the puck, and Redmond's pass did not go behind the King net. It hit the side of the net, and the goaltender Janicek reached out and stopped it there. The Kings and the Flames are going to meet again Friday night, this time in Calgary. It'll be the third game in a row between the two teams. We'll have it for you on radio and television live in Southern California at 6:20 on Channel 9 television and on KGIL radio. That's this Friday night from the Olympic Saddle Dome in Calgary. First time we have ever done a simulcast out of that beautiful new building. Face off to the left of goaltender Bob Janicek. Each team is a man short. Off the draw, Peplinski gets tied up by Dion. Loose puck right in the slot, taken by the Kings. Here's Taylor up to center to Dion. Dion to the red line. Here's Dion across the blue line. Tried to give it to Taylor, but it went behind him. Taken away by the Flames. Each team is a man short. A lot of skating room down the right side. Here's Bourgeois. King zone. His shot deflected wide by Engblom. Picked up by Taylor. Taylor in the King zone. Taylor circles right in front of the King net. King's moving right to left. Here's Taylor up to center. He shovels it on the left side to Dion. Dion across the line. Dion still with it. Flame zone. Dion to the right side. Tried to give it to Engblom in the slot, but it went behind him. Picked up and down the left side. Sykes holds it in. Sykes gives it now to Dion in the slot. Dion tried to roll it in deep, and it's broken up and taken away by the Flames. Kari Eloranta. 14:35 left to go in the first period. Bob Miller along with Nick Nixon, and we have no score in the game. Flames come to center. Here's Peplinski dropping it for Kent Nilsson, their leading scorer with 92 points, and he's tied for the goal-scoring lead on the team with Håkan Loob with 34 goals. Now into forecheck. Doug Smith for the Kings. Tipped it away. Down the left side comes Galley. He couldn't get it. Sykes tried to hold it in the Flame zone. Sykes is bumped. Now Smith with it. Smith down the left side in the slot. Shoots, and it's deflected over the net by Edwards. Smith did well just to get the shot off. He was being checked at the time. Now Doug Smith on the right wing side of the Flame zone. Holds it in. Pass in the middle. Wells with it. Over to Galley. Galley tried to get it into Smith. Tipped away. Picked up by Sykes. Left wing side. Flame zone. Sykes to the blue line to Wells. Wells shoots wide to the right side. Rebound to Galley. Here's Galley at the blue line. And his pass taken away by the Flames. Up to center. And down the right side. Perry Berezan, the youngster out of the University of North Dakota, flips it into the King zone. Taken by Gary Galley. Flames on the power play now, but that's run out. It was only 5-second power play. Both teams at full strength. Here's Galley with it. Flame zone. Galley down the right side. Pushed down from behind by Jamie McCowan. Puck is in the right wing corner. Flame zone. Dug out by Fox. He went behind the net. Puck taken away by Baxter. Baxter for Calgary. Passes up on the right side to Ed Beers. Beers from center ice. Fakes a shot. Now flips it off the boards into the King zone. 13-13 to go in the first period. No score. Puck taken by Galley. Galley gives it up the left side to Bernie Nichols. Nichols up to center. He's checked by Beers. Puck taken away by the Flames. Passed down by Reinhardt into the King zone. Chased in deep by Craig Redmond. Redmond passes behind the net. Over on the left side to Engblom. Now back on the right side to Jim Fox. Fox up to center. Fox gives it to Roskowski. Left wing. Flame zone. In the middle to Nichols. Didn't get it. Roscoe with it. Couldn't get a shot off. It deflects off a stick. Now Nichols with it. Nichols left wing corner. Flame zone. Nichols behind the net. Nichols still with it. In front. Tried to give it to Fox. He couldn't get a shot. Tipped away and cleared by the Calgary Flames. Back out at center ice. Kings with it again. Here's Redmond. Craig Redmond spinning. Comes around the right side. Now to center ice. Drives it into the Flame zone. Rebound behind the net. Stopped by Don Edwards. Leaves it there for Reinhardt. No score. 12:27 to go in the first period. Flames clear it to center. Again, the Kings with it. Here's Gary Galley across the line. Galley shoots. Save made. Rebound up the middle. Taken by the Flames. Ed Beers. Good shot by Galley. And a good move to get the shot off. And a fine save by Donnie Edwards of Calgary. Flames clear it back in the King zone. Taken by Galley again. His headman pass up to center ice out of the reach of Mokosak. And it comes all the way down in the Flame zone. Back to get it behind the net. Kari Eloranta. 12 minutes to go. First period. No score. Flames clear it to center. Kings take it away. Here's Anders Hawkinson. He fires it back in the Flame zone. It's going to be icing against the Kings. But no, it's waved off because Mokosak hustled back to get it. Up the middle. Here's Wells. Backhander. Saved by Edwards as Wells fired from about 40 feet away. Again, the Kings hold it in. Hawkinson drives it in deep. Bourgeois takes it. He is knocked down by J.P. Kelly. In the middle. Mokosak shoots. He scores! Threw a hard check, and then the puck came loose right in the slot between the circles, and Carl Mokosak grabbed it and scores, and the Kings lead 1-0.
Well, that line came out the first time tonight, earlier this period, and threw their weight around. Hawkinson, Kelly, and Mokosak. They created some excitement around Don Edwards. They were out there for their second shift. Kelly with a great check on Bourgeois. Bourgeois, defenseman, out of the play, all alone in front. Mokosak, and he scores at 8:25. 1-0 Kings.
Los Angeles goal scored by number 12, Carl Mokosak. Assist to number 21, Anders Hawkinson, and number 17, John Paul Kelly. Time of the goal, 8:25.
All right, now the Flames with it. Here's Richard Crum, and his pass into the King zone taken away by Dion. He can't clear it. Down the middle. Flames with it. Shot save made in the glove of goaltender Bob Janicek on the shot by Jamie McCowan. Oh, what a fine glove save by Bob Janicek.
Well, that was the first real test for Bob Janicek, his toughest chance. Defenseman Jamie McCowan, who gets involved offensively. We've seen him score some key goals the last couple of years against the Kings. Moved right in high in the slot, took the shot. It was labeled for the low right corner, but Janicek speared it. At the other end, Mokosak with the goal, his fourth. He hasn't played in about 3 weeks. Hawkinson and Kelly assisting. 8:25. Kings in front 1-0 unofficially. They have now outshot the Flames 5-2.
Faceoff will be to the right of Bob Janicek. Kings ahead 1-0. 11:04 to go in this first period, and off the draw. Puck is in the left wing side of the King net, and Otto sends it in front. A shot and a save by Janicek, and this time he beat Jim Peplinski.
Well, Peplinski used his size and his reach. He just kind of reached around one of the Kings defensemen out there, Mark Hardy, and just snapped a quick shot from the base of the left circle, and Janicek reacted very quickly, didn't control it cleanly right away, but had time to pounce on the rebound and stop play.
Doug Smith out at center, Tiger Williams on the left side, Phil Sykes on the right side, and Smith will take the face-off to the right of Bob Janicek. Joel Otto on the draw for the Flames, and the puck comes to the blue line to Conroy, shooting, blocked on the way in, picked up by Tiger Williams. He flips it up to center ice, taken away by Conroy for Calgary. 10:47 left to go in the first period. 1-0 Kings lead. Flames with it, and a two-line pass called against Calgary. Kings hockey is being brought to you by Sears Savings Bank. With your Sears Savings Bank checking account, you can lend yourself the money you need to start an IRA. And by Budweiser, the king of beers. For all you do, this Bud's for you.
I'm sure probably the main reason why Pat Quinn, head coach, has Russ Anderson and Carl Mokosak in the lineup tonight is because the Kings are playing one of the more physical teams in the NHL. Of course, Anderson and Mokosak give the Kings a lot more strength and size than do Rick LaPointe and Steve Shutt, the two players they are replacing this evening.
Flames have it back behind their own net as they move left to right. Headman pass up to center. They tried to hit Peplinski. Didn't get it, but it came right on target. Stop made by Bob Janicek. Now Joel Otto with it for the Flames. Otto down the right side, poked away by a sliding Kings defenseman Gary Galley. Kings with it. Ruskowski gives it to Fox to the red line. It bounces over his stick. Now he drives it down into the Flame zone. Chased in by Reinhart. He's bumped from behind. Joel Otto comes over to help out. Right behind and to the right of the Flame net. Now Otto with it. He's checked by Ruskowski. Terry with it. Tried to center it out in front. It hits the back of the net. Ruskowski still battles Reinhart for it. And now the puck comes up the right side. Peplinski ahead to Conroy. His pass ahead. Here's Bozak cutting in. Spun around by Galley. And a penalty to Gary Galley, and one that he had to take, as Bozak was going right down the middle, and Gary Galley will go for holding. 1-0 Kings. We'll be back in 30 seconds. This is the Los Angeles Kings Hockey Network.
Los Angeles penalty to number 3, Gary Galley. 2 minutes for holding. Down to the penalty, 10:08. Repeating, Los Angeles penalty to number 3, Gary Galley. 2 minutes for holding, time 10:08.
Speedy Steve Bozak, the King from 1981-82 through the 82-83 season, was just dancing around Gary Galley, and he spun him around. Galley did, gets 2 for holding at 10:08. Flames trail 1-0. Go on the power play, the best power play percentage in the NHL at 24.9%.
And off the face-off, the puck taken by the King goaltender Bobby Janicek. He pokes it in the corner, but the Flames have it now. The left point, Kari Eloranta. His pass taken away by Doug Smith. He clears it up on the right side. Here's Redmond. Redmond down the right wing. His shot and a save by Edwards, and he hangs on for the face-off.
Well, good work along the boards inside the blue line by Doug Smith. He knocked it down, then left it for Redmond. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is the Los Angeles Kings Hockey Network.
Off the draw in the Flame zone. Kings ahead 1-0. Flames on the power play for another minute 40, and the Flames have it back behind their own net. Kari Eloranta out of Finland passes up on the right side to Mike Eaves. Eaves across the line, down the right side into the King zone. Eaves still with it, stops against the right wing boards, gives it back to Bourgeois at the point. Now at the left point it goes to Eloranta. Eloranta to Eaves. Eaves sends it in deep. Engblom over to get it for the Kings. Engblom in the right corner, pokes it up the right wing boards, poked away from him. Now in the corner again, here's Mike Eaves with it for the Flames. To the blue line to Eloranta, to the right point to Bourgeois. Bourgeois holds it right on the line, gives it to Quinn. Quinn's pass down the right side. He got it there to Beers. Now to Eloranta, left point shooting, and the save, and deflected just wide to the right side. Picked up at the right point by Bourgeois for the Flames. Flames on the power play. 1 minute to go in the power play. Pass to Quinn, to Bourgeois, shooting, stick save, rebound up the middle, and cleared out to center by Doug Smith. Janusek directed that rebound, Nick, right up the middle to one of the Kings, Doug Smith, and he cleared it to center. Flames come back again. Cavallini down the right side, walking in, goes behind the net. Around the left side, Cavallini still with it, out to the left point, and now taken away by Doug Smith, and he clears it back into the Calgary zone.
Eloranta had trouble handling that pass at the left point, went right off his stick onto Smith, and Doug quickly fired it the length of the ice.
Ruskowski and Sykes up front, the penalty. Hardy and Wells back. Flames with it across the line, pass down the middle, Joel Otto, and a save by Janusek. Rebound, shot, and another save on the shot by Kent Nilsson.
Nilsson had the whole top part of the net with Janusek down, and he just couldn't lift it above the prone goaltender. Janusek apparently got a piece of it. He had some help from his defense in Jay Wells, but a good scoring opportunity as the Flames, 3-to-a-man, went right in, jammed the net. Cavallini along with Otto and Kent Nilsson, and eventually Nilsson had the chance, which resulted in the good save by Janusek.
Faceoff will be to the left of the goaltender Bob Janusek. Dave Taylor's daughter Jamie, 1 year old, is here at the game tonight. Ready on the draw. Ruskowski gets knocked down. Flames with it. Right point. Here's Reinhardt. Reinhardt gives it on the right side to Kent Nilsson. Nilsson still with it. Nilsson top of the right circle. Up the middle goes Reinhardt to Nilsson. He shoots wide to the right side. He didn't get all of it. Comes over to Conroy on the left side. Conroy into Cavallini. Cavallini behind the King net. Gives it to Kent Nilsson on the right side. Here's Nilsson with it. 1 second to go on the power play. Kings are back at full strength. Nilsson shooting. It's blocked by Wells. Puck taken by Conroy. Conroy plays it around the boards. Wells with it for the Kings. Kings are back at full strength. Headman pass ahead to Galley. Galley at center. Here's Galley to the Flame line. Galley goes to the left side and tries to hold it in. He does, but his pass taken away by Conroy. Joel Otto knocks Galley down. Back come the Flames. Kent Nilsson drop pass in the slot. Reinhardt shooting. It's deflected into the right wing corner by Engblom. Kings ahead 1-0. 7:25 left to go here in the first period. Bob Miller along with Nick Nixon. And now a good check as Gino Cavallini got up and he took a run and marked Hardy, and Hardy knocked him flat on his back. Hardy skates it up to center ice and then drives it into the Flame zone. Puck is cleared back up to center. Here come the Flames. 2 against 2. Here's Berezan down the right wing. The rookie dropping it on the right side to Poplinski. Up the middle to Bozak, and he couldn't get the shot up. Now Bozak to Poplinski, and his shot blocked and deflected up in the crowd by Russ Anderson. But what a bit of puck movement there by the Calgary Flames.
Well, Berezan, Bozak, Poplinski all involved. It was a line change as the Flames broke out of their own zone. I thought it was going to be a 3-on-2, but then one player came off, and that made it really a 2-on-2 situation. But trailing the play, picking up the puck was Steve Bozak, who hopped over the boards, and Bozak, with his speed, doesn't take him long to get involved into the play, and they had another good scoring opportunity.
Bozak tried to go to his backhand, and he was in free one-on-one with the goaltender Janusek, but as he went to his backhand, the puck rolled away from him and wide to the right goal post. Kings with it now. Tipped up to center. And across the red line. Picked up by Dion. And his pass broken up. Back come the Flames. Berezan gets it on the left wing to Poplinski. Cutting in. Poplinski in deep. He goes behind the King net. He comes around the right side. He gives it to Berezan. And his pass right through the slot. Going to be taken away by Taylor. Kings ahead 1-0. First period. Pass ahead to center ice. Broken up. Flames with it again. Jamie McCowan down the left wing. McCowan with a shot and a glove save by Janusek, and he hangs on. We'll be back in 30 seconds. This is the Los Angeles Kings Hockey Network. Play underway again. Kings with it. Here J.P. Kelly up ahead to Mogasak. Mogasak's got the King Goldenite. Comes down the right side. Tried to give it to Kelly and just tipped away back out to center. Good hustle by Mogasak coming down the right wing. At center ice, Kings with it. Jay Wells fires it into the flame zone. It's back behind the net. Rolls to Mogasak. Up the middle now. In the slot. A shot by Hawkinson and a save by Edwards. Good pass by Mogasak that time to the Hawk. And Hawkinson right in the slot got a good shot, but the save was made by Edwards. 5:47 left to go. First period. 1-0 Kings on the goal by Carl Mogasak. Flames clear it into the Kings zone. Jay Wells with it. He gives it on the left wing boards, and I thought J.P. Kelly was going to get it, but it didn't get to him. Flames hold it in. Now behind the net, Janusek gets caught there, but over to help out and pick it up for the Kings is Anders Hawkinson. Hawk gives it up at center ice and just out of the reach of Gary Galley. Comes into the Flame zone. Poked ahead by Reinhardt to Kerry Wilson. His pass into the King zone. Broken up as Eddie Beers tried to pass, and it was deflected up into the crowd by Craig Redmond. 5:18 to go in the first period, and the Kings have a 1-0 lead. Kings hockey being brought to you by Toyota, who reminds you to buckle up and use child safety seats. It's a good feeling. And by Mark C. Bloom. You can't choose the right tire if you don't have a choice. That's Mark C. Bloom.
Well, the most effective line for the Kings this period has been the Hawkinson-Kelly-Mokasak line. Again, their third shift of the period. They scored, Mokasak did, on the second shift. Hawkinson from point blank, and he had an excellent chance on Don Edwards.
Now the Flames send a bouncer into the King zone, and Bob Janusek knocks it down and then covers it up with his glove, and the faceoff will be to his right. Next Saturday night here, the Kings will be back at the Fabulous Forum. Take on a team that we haven't seen in quite some time, the Minnesota North Stars.
That's right. They won the Norris Division last year, and they're struggling to stay out of fourth place this year, the North Stars.
Here's Mike Eaves with it now in the King zone into Beers. Beers goes against the left wing side, gives it to Quinn. His pass in front tried to hit Eaves, but it was tipped away. Picked up by the Kings. Ruskowski on the left wing into the Calgary zone. Roscoe down the left side. Passes into the right wing corner to Fox. Fox gives it to Nichols. Nichols shoots, and he hit the side of the net. Behind the net. Fox with it. Fox tried to pass out in front. Broken up by Mike Eaves. Kings ahead 1-0. Back come the Flames. Pass to center ice taken by Steve Conroy, and he fires it into the King zone. Comes around the boards to Mike Eaves on the right wing. Eaves checked there by Bernie Nichols. Nichols and Eaves battle for it against the boards. Puck is dug out by Ruskowski. He gives it to Fox. Kings come back to center. Here's Fox at the red line. Crosses center ice. Flips it down into the Flame zone, and back to get it is Reinhardt. 4:19 to go. First period. 1-0 Kings. Tiger Williams comes on the ice for the Kings. He throws a check at Richard Crom. Puck is picked up now by the Kings Hardy. Hitmans it up to Sykes. Here's Sykes to the red line. Now to the blue line, and a shot wide to the left side. And Sykes gets knocked down by Baxter. And then when he got up, Baxter bumped him again. Puck taken by the Flame. Crom goes. He knocked down at center ice by Phil Sykes. Flames with it in the King zone. Nilsson gives it to Crom. Crom left side in front of Berezan, and a save by Janusek, and the net gets knocked loose. But what a check by Phil Sykes at center ice. We'll be back in 30 seconds. This is the Los Angeles Kings Hockey Network.
Sykes gives up about 10 pounds matching up with Crom, but he really shouldered him out of the play and dumped him in front of the penalty box.
To Crom's credit, he got up and he was right back in the play again as now the Kings throw it down into the Flame zone. 1-0 Kings. Back behind the Flame net. McCowan checked there. Now Doug Smith comes in. Kings take it away. Pass in front. Broken up. Smith with it. Smith still has it. Actually more of a shot by Sykes than a pass. Smith still moving down the left side. Gets knocked down. Uh-oh, and he's injured. Smith is injured, and he got hit, it looked to me, awkwardly on that knee.
Yeah, you could tell that his legs were in a very funny position as he was hit by Baxter as Doug Smith tried to stick handle off the boards and move right in front. Smith, of course, had an injury to his knee earlier this season. The puck was poked away, and it looked like he was hit on the right leg, right around the right knee by Paul Baxter as he was falling to his left towards the ice. So he was not in a position where he could brace himself from the hit. Baxter himself was down on the ice.
He was diving head first toward Doug Smith, And Smitty is on his hands and knees right now, but he has not moved very much since he went down. And Peter Demers, the King trainer, has come out, and Jay Wells comes over to help Doug Smith. And there's no doubt about this being a injury to his right leg, and he is not putting any weight on it as he is helped off the ice.
January 16th, he injured his right knee, stretched ligaments against the Toronto Maple Leafs, and he missed the next 13 games. So hopefully it is not a reoccurrence of the injury which forced Doug to miss those games earlier this season. But he's being helped off and will go to the dressing room. We'll get a report on him in just a few moments.
Well, unfortunate, because Doug Smith had been coming on and been playing very well, and now he is being helped to the dressing room. And the Kings send Dion out at center now with Taylor McClellan. Kings with it. Gary Galley comes to the blue line, but he can't bring it in. He gets pushed back to center by Conroy. Puck taken by the Kings. Wells fires it ahead and tipped into the flame zone by McClellan. Picked up on the right side by Reinhardt, and Big Mac checks him into the boards. Puck taken by the Flames. Otto gives it to Petlinski down the left side. He still has it. He centers it up the middle, and Bozak had it for a moment. Now Joel Otto with it for the Flames to the blue line. Conroy shoots. It's deflected into the corner. Picked up by the Kings. McClellan against the boards, and then Dion over to help out, but the Flames battling to gain control, and they do. Reinhardt to Conroy, left side. He shoots, and a glove save by Janusek, and another fine glove save.
Tell you, Otto, Poplinski, big players out there. Reinhardt, Conroy, the defenseman. They've got an extremely big team, a well-balanced club. And the Kings trying to get some of that momentum back that they had earlier this period by throwing their weight around. McClellan and Dave Taylor this shift. They'll stay out there, at least for the time being. And now when Bob Johnson makes a change, Pat Quinn counters with his hit line. Mokosak with Kelly and Hawkinson.
Faceoff will be to the right of the goaltender, Bob Janusek. 2:43 left here in this first period. And the Kings and the Calgary Flames still battling. And third place still available to the Kings if they can win tonight. On the faceoff with Kerry Wilson, Anders Hawkinson wins the draw, comes to center, 3-on-2. Hawk passes down the left side of J.P. Kelly, and he shoots right at the whistle.
Offsides, Mokosak preceded the puck over the blue line, and then we had the hit
well,
right at the whistle.
Baxter thought that Kelly heard the whistle and still fired the shot at the Flame goaltender, but it was all in one movement, and so Kelly and Baxter have a few words with each other down in the corner, but I think had JP heard it in time, he certainly would not have fired the shot.
Obviously not playing all that much. Carl Mokosak is going to try and take advantage of every opportunity and go full out, but he has a tendency in the games that he's played this year to force the play sometimes. He forced that play right there, and it was offsides.
All right, now the Kings' Mark Hardy sends it in the Flame zone. Checking the left wing corner by Anders Hawkinson. He's grabbed and held by Baxter, but nothing called. Puck taken by the Flames. Here's Hunter on the right side. He flips it down into the Kings' zone. Going to be icing if the Kings get to it. Hardy is bumped hard by Cavallini. Flames got to it first. A shot is deflected toward Janusek, and he covers up there. Some hitting going on all over the ice as the teams came from one end to the other that time, Nick.
Well, myself personally, I'm glad that the Kings, more than likely, unless the Flames really take a turn for the worse and the Kings get red hot, the Kings are going to play Edmonton, because I think the way the Flames are geared going into the playoffs, I think there would be a tougher team to play for the Kings from the Kings standpoint than the Edmonton Oilers, who have been struggling the last month.
If the Flames meet Winnipeg, they have beaten Winnipeg all but one game this year. Now, way behind the play, we've got Bourgeois throwing a punch at Ruskowski. And he's got a hold of Roscoe's stick. He grabbed Ruskowski's stick and then threw a punch at him. Now let's see if they're going to get both of them. Roscoe was trying to get his stick loose, throwing a couple of half-hearted punches on the way, but I think they're going to send both of them off the ice.
Well, again, Bourgeois is a big kid, and I think it was a situation where Bourgeois outreached Ruskowski. He just took a couple of jabs, and Roscoe, much shorter and much lighter than Bourgeois, tried to get his left hand free, but he just couldn't reach the bigger Bourgeois. So both players go off at 17:52 here in the first period for roughing minors.
So they get 2 minutes each. And the Kings still clinging to that 1-0 lead. The goal by Carl Mokosak, his fourth of the year, from Anders Hawkinson and J.P. Kelly at 8:25. Doug Smith has left the ice with what appears to be an injury to his right leg or right knee, and we have no report on it yet. We are attempting to get one for you. Puck is taken by Wells at center, but his pass taken away by Eves, and then Wells came back to poke it away. Right at the King blue line. Here's Jim Fox. He gives it to Gary Galley. Galley's in the King zone, trying to get away from Danny Quinn. Galley ahead to Nichols. Nichols at center. Bernie still with it. Passes down the left side. Here's Wells, and offside is Jim Fox as he got knocked down about 2 feet inside the Flame blue line.
Fans that are here tonight who may be listening on radios that they bring to the games may wonder, well, Fox had his arm and his stick across the blue line at center ice. Why was he offsides? And whenever the linesman calling offsides, it's the position of the player's skates that determines whether or not he's onsides or offsides. And both of Fox's skates were inside the blue line.
Kings with it at center. Here's Jay Wells. It's taken away from behind him by Danny Quinn. Quinn down the left side. Wells gets back, pulls him down, and a penalty to Jay Wells.
Well, that's unfortunate because Quinn had lost control of the puck, and then Wells took the penalty, but possibly Jay didn't see Quinn lose possession of the puck.
The call is hooking against Jay Wells.
Los Angeles penalty to number 24, Jay Wells. 2 minutes for hooking. Time of the penalty, 18:20.
So now the Flames go on the power play.
Third time in the period, and the Kings obviously have shut down their power play, which is ranked #1 in the National Hockey League. 71 power play goals and 285 chances. Their percentage at 24.9, we mentioned earlier in the period. It's about 3 percentage points higher than the league average. Mike Eves has played a lot in the specialty teams in this 2-game set in Los Angeles this week.
4-on-3 skating advantage for the Calgary Flames. Kings have a 1-0 lead. 1:40 to go in the first period, and off the draw in the King zone. It is picked up and cleared ahead to Dion. Redmond gave it to Dion. Here's Dion across the blue line. Dion shoots wide to the right side. Rebound. Dion picks up his own rebound. Goes behind the net, around in front. He gives it to Engblom at the blue line. Engblom brings it back out to center and then flips it back into the Flame zone. Kings have only 3 skaters on the ice now. They've got Dion, Engblom, and Redmond. Flames with it, trailing 1-0. Pass to the King zone. Broken up. Here's a breakaway. Dion all alone, looking for a shorthander. In front, he shoots, and a save by Don Edwards. And he hangs on. Dion was all alone from the King blue line on in, and Donnie Edwards stops his shorthanded goal attempt. And it's still Kings 1, Flames 0.
Well, Marcel Dion picked up that puck outside his own blue line along the far boards and had clear sailing, went right in on Don Edwards, and as he shifted from the right boards to his left to get more net to shoot at, he elected to shoot rather than Deke trying to go upstairs, glove hand side on Edwards, and Edwards, while lying to his right, covered it up and did not give up a rebound.
1:06 to go in the first period. 1-0 Kings lead, and the face-off in the Flame zone won by Anders Hawkinson, but taken now by Reinhardt. Now the Kings have Galley, Hardy, and Hawkinson out there with only 55 seconds to go in the first period. 1-0 Kings. Flames on the power play. 4-on-3 advantage. Reinhardt to the right point. Reinhardt gives it to Kent Nilsson. Nilsson left side. He shoots, and a save by Janasek, and the Kings clear it. And Janasek was off balance. Had the Flames gotten the rebound, they might have had a good opportunity, and the Kings cleared it back in the Calgary zone. 37 seconds to go in the power play. Here come the Flames. Here's Mike Eves. Eves down the left side. Stops against the boards. Gives it to Nielsen. Over to the right point to Reinhardt. Reinhardt passing into Quinn. In front. He shoots, and a save by Janasek. And where is the rebound? Underneath Gary Galley.
I think Janasek covered up, and then he kind of let the puck go at the whistle, but the net also came off the magnets at the same time, and you're not really sure whether Van Hellemond lost sight of the puck or blew down the play because the net came loose.
Quinn, I think, and we have a television replay here, was actually trying to get it over to Mike Eves rather than shoot. And when he tried to pass, Gary Galley, the King defenseman, was sliding across, and he deflected the pass, and then the Kings covered up. 25 seconds left to go in the first period. Bob Miller with Nick Nixon, and the Kings have a 1-0 lead. Dan Quinn facing off against the Kings' Marcel Dion. Dion got a little breather after that long skate on the breakaway when he got stopped, but now he's back out there again. And on the faceoff, Dion wins it to Engblom, and Brian clears it back into the Flame zone. 19 seconds left to go in the first period. Kent Nilsson back to get it. Flames still on the power play for another 34 seconds. Another 5 seconds of a 4-on-3. At center, here's Kent Nilsson. 9 seconds left to go in the period. Pass to Danny Quinn. Quinn down the right side. Engblom jumps in front of him in the King zone. Engblom bumped against the boards. Puck is back behind the net. 1 second to go in the period, and that's the end of the first period. The end of one.
Tim Kerr leads the league in power play goals with 21. Wayne Gretzky, who set a National Hockey League record last year with 12 shorthanded goals. Scored his 11th the other night. So he leads the league again this year in shorthanded goals with 11. As a matter of fact, Gretzky has more shorthanded goals this year than he does power play goals. 11 shorthanders and 8 on the power play. And as far as the players taking the most shots, which are credited as shots on goal, not shots at the goal, Gretzky is number 1, 323 in 74 games. So that averages out to about 4.5 shots on goal a game. Ray Bourque, defenseman with Boston, is second. Bernie Nichols of the Kings is third. Mark Gartner of Washington is fourth, and Marcel Dion of the Kings is fifth. So 2 of the top 5 shooters in the National Hockey League with Kings, Bernie Nichols and Marcel Dion.
Nick, what's going on with the Hartford Whalers? I'll tell you, there must be the big contract drive for next year or something.
Yeah, I think they set a club record. I'm pretty sure this was their 6th straight win. They went about 2 months at home without winning from January through early March. And now they're really getting red hot. And if they just played 500 hockey at home this year, they'd be right in the hunt for a playoff spot in their division. But that's the way it goes. 1-0 Kings here with the second period, Bob.
All right, Nick, thank you very much. As the Kings' Brian Engblom fires it down into the Calgary zone, and Paul Reinhart back to get it. Here's Reinhart moving out of his own zone as the Flames move from right to left. Up to center now. Pass on the left wing side by Kerry Wilson. Right in front of the Flame bench. Poked ahead and down the left side. Tim Hunter with it. Hunter shoots and a save by Janicek. Rebound sent right through in front of the net. And the net was wide open and the Kings intercepted. Back they come to center. Jay Wells. Wells ahead trying to give it a Nichols at the blue line. Out of his reach. Picked up by Reinhart. His pass up on the right wing side. Flames come back again. Up at center now. Here's Kerry Wilson. Comes across the King line. Down the left side trying to get around Redmond. Drops it back and a shot is deflected. The shot by Conroy. Deflected by Engblom. Held in by the Flames. Left wing corner. King zone. Pass toward the net. Broken up by Janicek. Cavallini with it. Cavallini drops it off the left side to Kerry Wilson. Up the middle. Shot by Reinhart. Blocked. Kings with it. Up to center. Here comes Engblom. His pass ahead is broken up by Kerry Wilson, who takes control of it back in the Flame zone.
Kerry Wilson, another big youngster, one of the leading rookie scorers this year, has tremendous reach and handles the puck extremely well.
Now Tim Hunter of Calgary sends it into the King zone, taken away by Engblom. Kings moving left to right. Engblom to Nichols. His pass broken up on the left side. Held in by Eddie Beers. Beers to Eaves, and he tried to tip it in, and a save by Janicek. Puck taken by the Kings. McClellan ahead to Fox. Here's Fox now with Galley. They crisscross to the red line. Pass back to Galley. Galley on the left side. Galley drops it off to McClellan, walking down the left side and can't get a shot. He got checked, and the Flames clear it back out to center. Chased down by Jay Wells. Here's Wells back of the King line. Kings ahead 1-0. Second period just underway. Here's Dion giving it ahead on the right side to Gary Galley. Galley slaps it off the boards. Back behind the Flame net. Cut off there by Edwards, the goaltender. His pass around the left wing side. McClellan and Eaves battle for it. Puck comes in loose. Back behind the net. Taken there by Jamie McCowan. McCowan headmans it up the middle for Calgary to Quinn. Quinn tried to give it Eaves on the right wing. Broken up, and Quinn gets it again and fires it back behind the King net. 18 minutes to go in the second period. 1-0 Kings. Kings given away and a shot, but offside called as a pass intercepted just outside the blue line of the Kings by Kent Nilsson, and he was offside when he got it as he fired it wide to the right side, but the whistle had already blown.
An update from Vancouver. The first period has ended. Winnipeg 2 and the Vancouver Canucks 2. Lanthier and Tanti for Vancouver. Howard, Chuck, and Smale for the Winnipeg Jets. 2-2 after the first period. Winnipeg and Vancouver.
Faceoff will be outside the King blue line. Bernie Nichols will take the draw. 1-0 Kings.
Tiger Williams, very diplomatic, going over, chatting with referee Andy Van Hellemond. I wonder if Tiger is still talking about why he got caught for holding.
Flames win the draw. Perry Barazan, who played at the University of North Dakota earlier this year, draws it back into his own zone. Now it's taken by Richard Crom. Crom's pass around on the right side, and it is cleared by Bourgeois. Back to the King line. Russ Anderson back to get it. He gives it to Hardy. Hardy in the King zone. He's bumped there in deep by Richard Crom. Now Hardy with it in the King zone. Hardy comes up the right side, still with it. Kings ahead 1-0. Hardy's pass almost intercepted by Barazan, but Sykes gets it. He flips it off the right wing boards into the Flame zone, and back to get it, Kerry Eloranta. His pass up to the blue line. Sykes intercepts at center ice for the Kings. He gives it to Mark Hardy. Here's Hardy back to Russ Anderson. Anderson ahead to Nichols. Nichols across the line. Nichols shoots, but an offside call. Bill Sykes was offside by about a stride, just to the left of Bernie Nichols.
We're talking about Perry Berezin, who has been very productive since coming up from the University of North Dakota. Berezin, who spells his name Berezan in 3 games, has 2 goals and an assist. He was drafted a couple of years ago after playing Tier 2 in Alberta. And then he elected to go to the University of North Dakota, spent the last 2 years there, averaged 55 points a season. Of course, in college, you play 35, 40 games top, so he averaged well over a point a game.
Now the puck back in the King zone. Here's Engblom with it. Flips it off the glass up to center. Chased down on the left side by Hawkinson, but poked away from him. Intercepted by Mokosak. Over to Redmond. Redmond down the right side. Redmond in deep. Cut off by Bozak. He gets knocked down. The puck comes to the blue line. Held in by the Kings. Hawkinson tried to give it to Redmond. Redmond bumped there. Mokosak with it to J.P. Kelly. Kelly in the slot to the left point to Engblom. Flame zone. Engblom drives it behind the net. Here's Mokosak going for it. Puck is taken away by Joel Otto. Otto bumped against the boards, and the puck taken out by the Flames. Jamie McCowan 3-on-3 to center. McCowan shoots from center ice, and a stick save by Janusek. Rebound to Bozak. Bozak bumped by Hawkinson as he came down the left side. Hawk takes it away behind the King net. Sends it up the left side now to J.P. Kelly. Kelly sweeps it up to the red line to Mokosak, and he drives it down into the Flame zone. Back behind the net, taken there by Baxter. Baxter for the Flames, up to Jim Peplinski on the right wing. Peplinski to Bozak. Bozak flips it down to the King blue line, taken away now by Gary Galley. Galley left wing, Galley Flame zone. Galley cutting in, shoots and a save. Rebound, Nichols couldn't get to it in time. Poke to the left point, held in by Ruskowski. His pass taken away by Kerry Wilson, intercepted by Nichols. Penalty to the Flames. A penalty to Kerry Wilson, I believe, is the man they're going to get for pulling Nichols down, and we'll be back with a King power play in 30 seconds. Kings lead at 1-0. This is the Los Angeles Kings Hockey Network.
Calgary penalty number 33, Kerry Wilson, 2 minutes for slashing. Time of penalty 4:05. Repeating, Calgary penalty number 33, Kerry Wilson, 2 minutes for slashing. Time 4:05.
Kerry Wilson for slashing Bernie Nichols at 4:05. Nichols picked up a loose puck outside the blue line and went inside the zone and was hacked on the left ankle by Wilson, and he got caught by referee Andy Van Helleman.
And the Kings now go offside of the Calgary blue line. Kings have a 1-0 lead. Mokosak getting his 4th from Hawkinson and Kelly at 8:25 of the first period. Now the Kings with a chance to widen their lead. Dion is out along with McClellan and Taylor, Hardy and Nichols. That's the King power play. Dion with 15 power play goals leads the Kings. Dion on the faceoff with Mike Eaves. Dion wins the draw to Nichols. Nichols sends it into the Flame zone, taken away by Reinhardt. His pass out to center, taken away by the Kings. Hardy passes down the right side against the boards, and it is broken up by Conroy of Calgary. He fires it all the way back down into the King zone, and Hardy back behind the net drops it off on the right side to Bernie Nichols. Nichols ahead out of the reach at center ice of McClellan, and now taken by Richard Crom. Crom in his own zone for Calgary sends it back to the King blue line. Calgary having trouble killing penalties this year. They are 19th in the NHL. Here is Hardy. He fires it into the Flame zone. It is picked up by Quinn, and he clears it back into the King zone.
Well, the Kings just can't get that puck inside the Calgary blue line and get anything set up. They're not handling the puck very well.
Now a pass by the King goaltender Janusek out of the reach of Hardy. Now at center ice, the Flames still with it.
Taylor and Dion went for the puck, and they both shied away. I think they each thought the other was going to pick it up.
Now Taylor into forecheck in the Flame zone. He wraps up Quinn. Puck taken by McClellan. McClellan left wing corner. Checked by Reinhardt. McClellan still battles for it. Now Taylor with it. Taylor gets it to Dion. Dion pass to the blue line. Bernie Nichols. He shoots, and it's tipped over the net by the goaltender Edwards. Puck is picked up by McClellan. Left wing side. Here's Mack with it. Flame zone. McClellan in the left wing corner. Still with it on the power play. To the blue line. To Hardy. To the right point. To Nichols. Nichols with it. Nichols passing along the boards in deep in the corner to Taylor. Taylor right wing side goes behind the Flame net. Cross check from behind by Conroy. It looked like no penalty. Here's Dion with it. Dion left side in the circle. Dion up the middle to Hardy. Hardy shoots. Save. Rebound. Dion scores. Anderson with the goal. His 1,500th career point. He was driving in from the left side, and he fired it into the right-hand corner. And the Kings lead 2-0.
Season and his 1,500th career point. He is only the third player in the National Hockey League history to score 1,500 points, Marcel Dionne. Assist to number 18, Dave Taylor, and number 20, Mark Hardy. Time of the goal, 5:47.
Well, what a great tribute to Dionne there. A great standing ovation from the crowd for Marcel Dionne's 1,500th career point. Now the puck is still in the Flame zone. Ruskowski in the corner. Tried to give it to Tiger Williams, but it is cleared up over the glass into the crowd. Peplinski got his stick on it for the Flames, and the faceoff will remain in the Flame zone. 2-0 Kings, and what a great tribute. Nick, what a year it's been. It seems like almost every week we're seeing another great milestone that will remain in our memories for years as we think back to the great career of Marcel Dionne.
That's right, and again, he will close in on Phil Esposito for third place on the assist list. He needs just 3 to pass Espo in that category.
Now the puck in the Flame zone again, and this time Tiger Williams wrapped up Baxter and threw him out of the way.
Dionne with his 46th. He now leads the club in goals, assists, and points. One more goal than Bernie Nichols. It's on the power play at 5:47. Taylor and Hardy picking up the assist. Hardy took the original shot. Save was made. The rebound. Taylor got his stick on it, and then it squirted off his stick to Dionne, and Marcel just ran it home. Dionne, second to Wayne Gretzky in assists this year. Now with 10 goals in his last 10 games. He has a 10-game point-scoring streak.
Puck is taken in the Flame zone by Anders Hawkinson on the left wing, but it rolls away from him, but Mogasak holds it in. Mogasak intercepted a pass by Tim Hunter, but now the Flames clear it to center. Here's Kerry Wilson across the blue line, knocked down by Hardy and Russ Anderson. Puck is out at center ice. Chino Cavallini of Calgary fires it back behind the King net. Taken away there by Hardy. Hardy's pass up the left side to Kelly. Ahead to center ice to the red line to Hawkinson. Here's the Hawk across the line. Tried to drop pass there, but it's broken up and cleared by Cavallini out to center. And he gets bumped by Mogasak. Kings with it. Kelly shooting from the left side, and a stick save by Edwards. Puck is in deep behind the net now and taken away by Kerry Wilson of Calgary. He is chased in the corner by J.P. Kelly. He spins away from Kelly. Pass up the right side. Now on the left wing to Cavallini. He shoots, and it's blocked by Hardy. He was shaken up after he blocked it. He has to stay on now and cover his man. Hunter with it. Now pass and a score by Richard Crom. A drop pass to Crom at the top of the left circle, and he put it right between the legs of Bob Janicek. And the Flames are on the board. It's the Kings 2 and the Calgary Flames 1.
Wasn't a hard shot. Russ Anderson went down to try and block the shot. He didn't get a piece of it, and he actually screened his own goaltender, Bob Janicek, and Crom beats Janicek in the low right corner for the Flames' first goal at 7:13 for Crom, his 20th of the season. So less than 2 minutes after Dionne scores to make it 2-0, Crom gets it back 2-1 Kings.
Changed my mind on where that went. I thought originally that it went between his skates, but it went, I think, at the outside of the left leg of Bob Janicek. So the Flames are 1 goal down again, and now the puck is in the Flame zone. Puck comes around on the right wing side. Kent Nilsson with it. Richard Crom with a goal, and the Kings have a 2-1 lead. Here's Kent Nilsson, comes across the King line in the slot, drops it there to Crom again. Crom down the left side. Crom passing in deep, a pass up the middle by Berezan, comes out to center ice.
Nilsson gets the lone assist. He leads the club in scoring, now has 59 assists, 93 points.
Now the Flame blue line. Flames with it. Pass on the right wing side by Conroy as the Flames bring it in. Here's Kent Nilsson. His pass taken away. Kings with it. Here's Dion. Dion to center against Reinhardt. Dion across the line. Taylor goes for the net. Dion tried to give it to Taylor, and Reinhardt broke it up. It's held in by the Kings. Craig Redmond now into Taylor. Taylor behind the net. Didn't get it. It's going to be picked up by Kent Nilsson. He can't clear it. Held in. Left point. Engblom drives it into the right wing side. Picked up by Dion. Dion against the right wing boards. Dion into McClellan. He saw Redmond coming down the middle. Tried to get it to him. Couldn't do it. Again McClellan. Right wing corner. Flame zone. Mack drops it in deep behind the net. Going to be taken away by Calgary's Steve Conroy, and he clears it up in the air down into the Kings zone, and we'll have an icing call against Calgary. We'll be back in 30 seconds. This is the Los Angeles Kings Hockey Network.
10,482. Your Kings, thank you for attending.
Play underway again. Puck is in the Flame zone. Kings ahead 2-1. They have never trailed in the game. Flames moving right to left. Here's Mike Eaves. He gives it over on the right side. Cutting in Danny Quinn. He's hooked and pulled down. And a penalty to Jay Wells. I think Wells is going to claim that he grabbed onto my stick. But it's going to fall on deaf ears of referee Andy Van Helleman. Hooking is the call against Jay Wells for hooking Danny Quinn. And the Flames will go on the power play, and they have the best power play in the league. They're led by Ed Beers. He has 12 power play goals. The attendance here tonight, 10,482. Kings will be back in action here at the Forum on Saturday night against the Minnesota North Stars. Tickets are available at the Forum box office and all Ticketmaster outlets. And you can hear the game starting at 7:20 with a pregame show on KGIL, 1260 on the AM dial, and K-Wave FM 108. Friday night will be in Calgary, radio and television, live at 6:20 on KGIL radio and Channel 9 television.
Well, Pat Quinn had to shake up his lines before the game because he got Mokosak in the lineup tonight. Did not dress shut. Now he has to do some juggling with Smith out for the rest of the night.
Now Gino Cavallini in the slot. King zone. Pass in front. Score! Joel Otto tipped in the pass by Gino Cavallini. It took the Flames only 7 seconds to score the power play goal as Joel Otto just directed a pass by Gino Cavallini into the net, and for the first time tonight, the game is tied at 2-2.
Well, right off the draw, the puck was free at the circle. Cavallini and Otto battling for it. Cavallini worked it free, then just muscled his way in front around Mark Hardy. Took a little weak shot, and Otto reached for it. I'm not so sure that he got a piece of it. They announced the goal now at the 8:56 mark. Cavallini will get the goal from Otto. Otto did reach for it, but apparently did not get a piece of it. And that, I think, kind of upset the rhythm of Bob Janicek, because I think he felt Otto was going to get a piece of it.
Now out at center, here's Hardy with it. Hardy gives it at the King blue line to Russ Anderson. Game tied 2-2. Now Anderson back on the right side to Phil Sykes. Flame zone. Cutting down the right wing. In deep. Goes behind the net. Sykes still with a check from behind by Bozek. Sykes and Bozek now against the left wing boards. Bozek gets knocked down. Flames trying to clear it out, and they do. Up to center ice. Here come the Calgary Flames. Joel Otto down the left side trying to get around Mark Hardy. Hardy takes him out of the play. Plays the body. Knocks him down. Puck is taken by Flames at the left point. Kari Eloranta. Eloranta to Peplinski in the slot. Peplinski pass in deep. Saved by Janicek. Came through a lot of traffic in front of Janicek, and he got his right leg pad out. Puck is up against the boards, left side, and frozen there. And now Phil Sykes just throws Joel Otto down to the ice.
Otto 6'4", 215. Sykes 6 feet, 170 pounds. Tell you, Otto has been impressive in the games against Los Angeles. He was called up about 3 weeks ago, but he camps out in front of goaltenders. And the goaltender really has his work cut out just trying to look around Otto to get a look at would-be shots. Right there, Peplinski took a shot from high in the slot. It wasn't a hard shot, but Janicek didn't know where it was because Otto was in front of him.
And then Phil Sykes just threw Otto down, and the tempers flared, but it went no further than that, so we'll get no penalties. 10:15 to go in the second period. Bob Miller with Nick Nixon. The Flames have scored the last 2 goals to tie the game at 2-2.
At 7:13, Crom's 20th from Nilsson. And then on the power play at 8:56, Cavallini's 5th from Otto. You give the Flames enough power play opportunities in a game, and they're going to burn you at least once. And they had their 4th man advantage of the game, and they finally capitalized.
Face off to the right of Janusek as they drop the puck. An unfair face off, and they'll do it again. Kings Hockey being brought to you by Sears Savings Bank. You don't need a fistful of cash to open an IRA at Sears Savings Bank. And by Budweiser, the king of beers. For all you do, this Bud's for you. Face off Kings zone, left point shot, and a save on the shot by McCowan. Good save by Janusek. Kings come back. J.P. Kelly ahead to Mokasak, and he overskated at the red line. Puck is taken away and flipped by Tim Hunter. Back down into the Kings zone. Behind the net taken by Jay Wells. 2-2 tie, second period. Wells had his pass taken away, and here's Kerry Wilson as he tried to tip it toward the net. Janusek comes out and covers it up. The Kings cannot afford to lose tonight. If they lose tonight, they will finish in 4th place in the Smythe division. So if they have the hopes of 3rd place and trying to keep them alive, they must win this game here tonight. Face-off will be to the right of Bob Janusek.
Calgary Flames starting to put some good pressure on the Kings. The Kings going back to get the puck, particularly the defensemen, and they're being pressured right away, and that's why the Kings have turned the puck over quite a bit inside their own blue line the last 5 or 6 minutes, which is about the same time that the Flames started their comeback. They trailed 2-0, but Crom and Cavallini have gotten them right back into this hockey game.
And now off the face-off, the puck taken by the Kings. Here's Redmond, circles his own net, his pass on the right side, held in at the right point by Reinhardt. Now it comes around to Dion on the right side of the King zone. He gives it to Taylor. Taylor gives it up at center ice now to Redmond. Redmond to Dion. Dion across the flame line. Poke checked off his stick. Taken away as Conroy poke checked it off to Eves. Now to Conroy. His pass up to the King blue line. Broken up by Engblom. And Bryan sends it back down into the flame zone. 9:26 to go in the second period. 2-2 tie. Puck taken by the Calgary Flames. Up on the right side, Mike Eves. Eves ahead to Danny Quinn. Quinn drops it now to Beers. Left side to Quinn, and a save by Janusek as he tipped it away. Puck is taken by Dion in the Kings zone. The puck hit the referee's skates. Now the Kings give it away in their own zone again now. Pass into Eves, and he tipped it toward the net, and a save by Janusek. And Engblom wraps up Mike Eves and knocks him down.
Well, again, good pressure by the Flames. Eves getting in there. Crom as well. They forced the Kings into a situation where they had to get rid of it quickly. They didn't, and they got a couple of good scoring opportunities. Quinn almost deflecting in that shot from Big Eddie Beers.
Chicago Blackhawks have ended Philadelphia's winning streak. Chicago beating the Flyers 5-2 in Chicago tonight.
St. Louis lost, so now the Blackhawks within 3 points of first place in the Norris division. The Blackhawks have 5 games left. The Blues have 6.
Now the Kings within their own zone. This game is tied at 2 with 8:55 to go in the second period. At center ice, Bernie Nichols shoots, and a save by Edwards. A pad save leaves the rebound down for Charles Bourgeois. Bourgeois' pass taken by Richard Crom. Crom clears it out to center to Berezan. He can't hang on to it. Taken away by Fox to Roskowski. Roscoe tried to come down the right wing. Taken out of the play. Flames with it. Bourgeois, right wing pass to Kent Nilsson. Nilsson, King zone, stops to the top of the right circle. His pass tipped out to the left point. Eloranta shooting, and a stick save by Janusek. Rebound taken away, and Kent Nilsson's shot went wide to the left side. Now against the left wing boards, Flames hold it in. Berezan centers it, and Nilsson fanned on the bouncing puck. He gets it again. He gets it to the right point to Bourgeois. Bourgeois holds it right on the blue line. Sends it behind the King net. Poked away by Russ Anderson. He throws a check at Richard Crom. Crom holds it in. He gives it to Berezan. Left side. He sends it behind the net to Kent Nilsson. Nilsson behind the King net. His pass up the middle. Roskowski intercepts. Back come the Kings left to right. Roscoe down the left wing. He is pulled down, and a penalty to Perry Berezan of the Calgary Flames for pulling down Terry Roskowski. We'll be back in 30 seconds. This is the Los Angeles Kings Hockey Network.
Calgary penalties. The number 21, Terry Berezan, 2 minutes for holding. Time penalty 12:06. Repeating, Calgary penalties, number 21, Terry Berezan, 2 minutes for holding and 12:06.
we talked about Perry Berezin before. He got caught for holding Terry Ruskowski at 12:06 here in the second period. So the Kings go on the power play for the third time. They're 1 of 2 tonight. The Flames are 1 of 4, and we're tied up at 2.
Faceoff will be to the right of Don Edwards. Dion comes out to face off against Jim Peplinski. Game tied 2-2. Dion has a goal tonight. He wins the draw, but the puck taken away by Peplinski. Pass ahead to Bozak, and Bozy tries to come down the middle of the King zone, and he's taken out of the play by Mark Hardy, and the puck covered up by Bob Janicek. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is the Los Angeles Kings Hockey Network.
Talked to Steve Bozak between periods the other night. He said he's Bob Johnson's role player, but tell you, he's the type of player that can really spark a team just by skating all out every time he hits the ice.
Kings on the power play. Dion has a power play goal tonight. He gives it to Bernie Nichols. Nichols over to Taylor. Taylor comes to the flame line down the left side around Reinhart. Taylor in deep. Checked by Peplinski now. Puck is loose. McClellan with it. Left wing boards. He shovels it to the blue line to Bernie Nichols. Nichols sends it down the left side. Taylor had to chase it down, and now it comes around to the right point and out to center ice. Fans upset. Bernie kind of threw it down in the corner, and there wasn't a King around, and Flames cleared it out. Now Nichols with it. He gives it to McClellan. Here's Mack across the line. Goes to the left side. He gives it to Bernie Nichols. Nichols, Flame zone. Nichols walking in. Nichols in the slot. Can't get a shot. Tipped away. Held in by McClellan. His pass in behind the net. Poked away by the goaltender Edwards. Peplinski with it, and he clears it back into the Kings zone. Puck taken by the Kings. They've got 59 seconds to go in the power play. 2-2 tie. Here's Dion. Chased back into the King zone by Richard Crum, and Crum still dogging Dion. Dion gave it away to Eaves. He shoots, and a save by Janicek. Now the Kings with it. Pass ahead to Bernie Nichols. Nichols up the center. Nichols flips it into the Flame zone. Chased down by McClellan. Down the right side. He tried to jump around McCowan. McClellan bumps McCowan. Fox with it. Over to Dion. Left side of the net. To the left side to Engblom. Shooting. Blocked. And out to center ice. Here's Eaves. May have a breakaway. Out comes Janicek though. And he beats Eaves to the puck. Then he fanned trying to clear it. Then he picked it up. Oh, and what a check at center ice. Bernie Nichols ran right head on into Baxter. And I don't think Baxter knows where he is. An offside was called. Nichols ran head on into Paul Baxter of Calgary. An offside was called. And it looks to me like Peplinski is skating over talking to Baxter, asking him if he knows where he is. Oh, did Nichols...
Oh, he got caught with Bernie's left elbow. Bernie actually jumped off the ice, was about a foot off the ice surface as he met Paul Baxter, and it looked like he got Baxter right on the chin with his left elbow. I was surprised that charging wasn't going to be called, but Baxter was coming up from his side of center ice to pick up the puck. Nichols was coming out of his own zone, and Nichols had more speed than Baxter, and I think Bernie knew he was going to give up some height and weight, and he did everything he could and kind of jumped right into Baxter.
Face-off out at center ice, just across the blue line of the Kings. Kings on this power play with only 20 seconds left to go on it now.
Baxter on the bench, standing up, talking to Andy Van Hellemond, probably wondering why that wasn't an elbowing call.
Yeah, I think he's got a pretty good reason to ask.
I do too.
All right, now that center, the Flames take it. Here is Conroy, and he fires it down into the King zone. 13 seconds to go in the King power play. 2-2 tie with 6 minutes to go in the second period. Engblom gives it to Ruskowski. Now back to Engblom. Now up on the right side to Tiger Williams at the red line. Williams drives it down the left side into the Flame zone. Power play is over. Flames are back at full strength. Puck comes up over the glass into the crowd, and look out now. Tiger gets collared over there on the left side by who? McCowan or...
Now somebody just threw a punch, and I don't think it was McCowan.
I think it's Peplinski.
Is it Peplinski? Peplinski just did a pretty good job of tying up Tiger right at the whistle to make sure that Williams wasn't going to do anything right after the whistle. And Tiger took exception to the fact that Peplinski wasn't letting go. And looks like we might get a couple of penalties.
Well, I think they're both going to go to the penalty box. It's 2-2 here in the second period. We'll be back in 30 seconds. This is the Los Angeles Kings Hockey Network.
Calgary, number 24, Jim Peplinski. Los Los Angeles penalty to number 22, Tiger Williams. 2 minutes each for roughing. Time of the penalties, 14:09. Repeating, Calgary penalty to number 24, Jim Kaplinski. Los Angeles penalty to number 22, Tiger Williams. 2 minutes each.
Tiger Williams, Jim Paplinski, 2 each for roughing at 14:09, so both clubs will be shy a skater. Brian Engblom and a couple of the Kings, Captain Terry Ruskowski, talking to Andy Van Hellemond about the location of the faceoff. It's coming outside the attacking zone. Ruskowski, I'm sure, is saying it should be where play was stopped due to the penalties, which was outside the circle to the right of Don Edwards. But apparently Van Hellemond ruling otherwise.
Faceoff will be outside the blue line of the Calgary Flames. Each team short a man. The game is tied at 2. We're in the second period. Here is Kari Eloranta for the Calgary Flames. He goes back behind his own net. The Flames are moving right to left. We're in the second period. Pass off on the right side. Now cleared up to center ice to Danny Quinn. Quinn, big check by Redmond. Quinn down the left side. Redmond takes him out of the play. But they take each other out of the play. Redmond is spun around. Eads with it. He lost it to Brian Engblom. Here's Engblom up to center. 3-on-3. Engblom to Taylor. Taylor crisscrosses with Dion. Taylor down the right side. Taylor had it tipped off his stick, picked up by Redmond. Redmond right side. Flame zone. Redmond against the boards. Redmond checked by Eloranta. His pass in deep, taken away by Bourgeois behind the net. Taylor took it away from him, but now it gets caught in the back of the Calgary net. 5:11 to go in the second period. 2-2 tie. And I'll tell you, in that Norris division, Nick, Chicago making a real bid now under former King coach Bob Pulford, who is now their general manager and coach, to try and overtake St. Louis.
That's right. We mentioned a few moments ago they're just 3 points back, with the Blues losing to Toronto tonight 4-2, and the Blackhawks winning, ending Philadelphia's 11-game winning streak 5-2 in Chicago. The Blues do have a game in hand, but the Blackhawks certainly have played much better since the departure of Orville Tessier earlier this year.
Right here it's 2-2, the Kings and the Calgary Flames, and Bernie Nichols on the draw. Comes to the blue line to Wells, to the right point to Galley, and he didn't get the pass. Comes off the boards out to center ice, right in front of the King bench. Galley and McCowan battle for it. It comes loose. Flames with it down the middle all alone. Perry Berezan. He shoots. He scores. Perry Berezan, the Flame rookie, got to the loose puck, came down the middle and scores. And for the first time tonight, the Calgary Flames lead 3-2.
Well, it was a situation in the 4-on-4. The Kings didn't pick up a man and stay with him. The puck came free on the boards in front of the Flames bench, and Kent Nilsson drew a crowd, which isn't unusual. It was a give and go. He gave it right back to Berezan, who slipped behind everybody, went in down the middle, and beat Janusek as it went in off his pads. The goal at 15:01, and the Kings give up another goal in a 4-on-4 skating situation.
Scoring his third goal of the season, number 21, Perry Berezan. Assist to number 14, Kent Nilsson. Time of the goal, 15:01.
So the Kings had a 2-0 lead when Dion scored a power play goal at 5:47 of this period, and they have now given up 3 unanswered goals. Crom is 20th at 7:13. Cavallini is 5th at 8:56, and Berezan is 3rd at 15:01.
And all 3 shots have been low on the ice on Bobby Janusek, and I think he's gotten a piece of each of the 3.
Now at center ice, here's Bozak for the Flames. Sends it down to Mike Eaves. Eaves into the King zone. In the slot. His shot blocked, and it bounces right up the middle to Jim Fox. Can't clear it. Held in by Bozak to Eaves. He shoots and a save. Rebound. Bozak couldn't get the rebound. Taken by the Kings. Here's Bernie Nichols. Nichols passing up on the left side to Jay Wells. Wells pass back on the right side to Jim Fox. Fox trying to get around Jamie McCowan. Can't do it. Puck is picked up by Paul Baxter. Here's Baxter with it. Drops it off in the Flame zone over the left side to McCowan. He sends it up to Eaves. Here's Eaves at center ice. His pass ahead now to Bozak on the left wing. Into the King zone. Bozak is checked there. Passes in deep. Puck is taken away by Bernie Nichols back behind the King net. Nichols comes around the right side. Headmans it up on the left side to Fox. Fox to the red line. Fox's pass back to the red line, taken by Galley. Galley across the line and tried to give it to Fox. He got wrapped up by Berezan, and the puck controlled by Calgary. 3:49 to go in the second period. Flames ahead, and an offside pass called against the Calgary Flames as Conroy passed it across his own blue line and the center red line. Kings hockey being brought to you by Toyota. Toyota invites you to see them at your local dealer. And by Mark C. Bloom. You can't choose the right tire if you don't have a choice.
Berezan's 3rd from Nilsson at 15:01. Perry Berezan appearing in just his 4th National Hockey League game. Point.
Face-off just inside the Calgary blue line. Friday night, the Kings are at Calgary, radio and television live in Southern California at 6:20. Saturday, the Minnesota North Stars will be here. Mark Hardy with it for the Kings, back at their own blue line to Russ Anderson, up ahead of the red line to Hawkinson. Hawkinson across the blue line into the flame zone, and Mokasak on the right wing offside.
3:35 left in the period. Again, after the period ends, we'll go downstairs and chat with one of the Calgary Flames in the second intermission. Forward Jim Poplinski, and we'll talk about the Flames' chances, the chances he thinks they have as they go up against Winnipeg Jets, it looks like, in the first round of the upcoming playoffs. Playoffs will begin in just about 2 weeks. 2 weeks from tonight, I think, exactly.
Kings will open on the road they'll open next season in October, but they'll open the playoffs on the road April 10th and 11th, and then play here the 13th for sure and the 14th if necessary. It's the best 3 out of 5 series. Puck is in the Calgary zone, left wing corner. J.P. Kelly checked there, pulled down. The puck is back behind the net. Flames with it. McCowan sends it up the left side, and it is cleared by Cavallini out the center. Taken away by the Kings. Hardy gives it to Russ Anderson. His pass to Kelly. Now at center ice. It bounces free. Kelly with it again down the left wing. He shoots, and a stick save by Edwards. Puck is picked up by the Flames. Charles Bourgeois plays it right point, held in by Hardy. His shot blocked on the way in. Hardy with it again. He gives it down the right side, up the middle to Kelly, shooting, and a save by Edwards. Pass was by Mokasak on the right wing boards to J.P. Kelly, coming right down the middle, and he got stopped by Edwards. And now we've got
Tim Hunter, I think, coming in a little bit late. He's there. No, it's Bourgeois. Looked like Hunter.
Set with Mokasak.
They were teammates, of course, a couple of years ago before the trade, which sent Mokasak and Kevin LaValle to the Kings for Steve Bozak. So two of the principals in that deal playing tonight. Bozak for the Flames and Mokasak for the Kings. LaValle signed as a free agent this past summer by the Blues. The Kings really nothing sustained on Don Edwards all period. The only goal on the power play by Dion at 5:47. Since then, the shots, the opportunities on Don Edwards have been few and far between.
Faceoff will be to the left of the goaltender, Donnie Edwards. Dion on the draw, and as he wins the draw, the whistle blows, and they'll face off again. Kings hockey being brought to you by Sears Savings Bank. You don't need a fistful of cash to open an IRA at Sears Savings Bank. You can open one for as little as $25 and make additional deposits of $10 or more whenever you like at Sears Savings Bank. 3-2 Calgary. The Kings had a 2-0 lead. Flames for the last 3 goals. Dion wins the draw, gets it to Redmond in the middle. His shot blocked, and the Flames come back up to center. Calgary with it right in front of the King bench. Here's Bozak. Bozak bumped hard by Taylor. Bozak sends it into the Flame zone. Now back to Bozak on the left wing, or into the King zone. Now back to Bozak on the left wing. Now they try to get it into Joel Otto, but he's taken out of the play by Taylor, and Engblom sends it up on the left side to McClellan. Here's Mack, shoots it into the Flame zone. Down in the right wing corner. Back to get it is Jamie McCowan. He goes behind the net. Comes around the right side and gets knocked down. The puck is out at center ice. Flames with it. 2:14 left to go. We're in the second period. Kings take it away. McClellan at the King blue line sends it all the way down in the Flame zone. Puck is taken by the goaltender Edwards. He gives it to Baxter. Baxter drives it all the way down into the King zone. This is going to be icing against Calgary as Redmond goes back to touch it. 1:57 to go in the second period. And the Kings need some spark here, Nick, some offensive opportunities.
That's right. Their only good scoring opportunity, good quality chance, resulted in the goal on the power play by Dion. J.P. Kelly has had 2 or 3 shots on goal, but from the left wing boards, he had one in the slot that was deflected easily on Donnie Edwards. A couple of other shots from the defenseman from about 40 feet, but other than that, the Kings really not much on this Calgary Flame defense. The Flames forwards just working that much harder, skating that much better than the Kings forwards.
Face off to the right of the goaltender Edwards, and the Flames with it. Back behind the net. Reinhardt checked there by Tiger Williams. Puck comes around to the right side of the Flame zone. Sykes tried to hold it in, couldn't do it. Conroy clears it for Calgary. Out to center ice, taken away by Jay Wells. Now he gives it to Sykes, left wing, Flame zone. Sykes trying to cut in. He's pulled down, gets to the galley, shooting, safe. Rebound, Wilt Nichols shooting, blocked in front, and the Flames pick it up. Back out to center, picked up by Eddie Beers, and Beers for the Flames fires it down into the King zone.
Great saves by Donnie Edwards on Nichols and Gary Galley.
Now the Kings with it. Here's Wells. His pass up to the King blue line to Tiger Williams. Williams trying to get it to Sykes as he came to the Flame blue line. It's broken up by Reinhardt, taken by Nichols. Nichols across the line. Nichols over to Sykes, and this time the penalty as he gets pulled down by Eddie Beers. So with 1:06 to go here in the second period, the Kings go on the power play with a chance to tie the game. It's the Flames 3, the Kings 2.
Eddie Beers, 2 minutes for interference. Time of the penalty, 18:54.
Well, Phil Sykes again using his speed to draw the penalty on the opposition. Was busting down the left wing looking for that lead pass, and he was held away from reaching the puck by Eddie Beers. Interference, and the Kings go on the power play for the 4th time this evening.
Dion, McClellan, Taylor, Nichols, and Galley out there now. Kings down by a goal, 3-2. Time running out here in the second period. Dion wins the draw to the left point to Nichols. Flame zone. Nichols gives it to Dion. Top of the left circle. Up the middle to Nichols. Now Nichols still with it. Now over the right side to Galley. Galley's pass in the middle is broken up and cleared by McCowan out to center. Taken by Nichols again to the red line. Here's Nichols. Drops it off for Dion. Dion at center ice. Over to Taylor. Taylor at the right point. Into the Flame zone. McClellan goes down the middle. Taylor gives it to McClellan. He goes into the right wing corner. He's bumped hard there. McClellan still with it. Leaves it for Taylor. 38 seconds to go in the period. Second period. Kings down 3-2. Taylor still with it. Taylor comes toward the corner. Now gives it back at the blue line to Gary Galley. Galley, top of the slot. His shot is deflected to Taylor. Taylor on the right wing. 25 seconds to go in the period. Taylor in the right circle. Taylor still with it. Up the middle to Galley. Galley, his shot deflected off the glass. Behind the net. Taken by Dion now. Left wing corner. Out to the blue line to Galley. Galley shoots wide. Rebound behind the net. McClellan to Taylor. Couldn't get a shot. Taken away and cleared by Mike Eaves, and that should do it. 5 seconds left to go in the period. Kings trying to get back for another shot. Here's Galley. He drives it into Taylor, and that's the end of the second period. And at the end of 2, the Calgary Flames have come from 2 goals down at 2-0 to take the lead at 3-2 over the Kings. We'll be back in 2 minutes, and Nick will be talking with Jim Peplinski of the Calgary Flames. This is the Los Angeles Kings Hockey Network.
Edwards, a goaltender who's only started once in the last 12 times the Flames have hit the ice, but the Kings really haven't tested him continually.
Nick, before this period gets underway, I just want to publicly thank you and Bob Borgen. Last night, I was completely surprised with a testimonial dinner, and a lot of my friends and colleagues and co-workers from years past throughout the 12 years that I've been with the Kings were there. It was a total surprise to me, and you were the MC, and you did a marvelous job last night, and Bob Borgen was the force in setting it all up, and a lot of people, I didn't know that about 180 people could be that secretive and that quiet for a couple of months about a dinner, and they were, and it was thoroughly enjoyable, and I thank you very much for your part and all of the people who happened to be there last night.
Well, you're more than welcome, and again, Bob Borgen deserves all the credit. Bob has been a big Kings fan for years and helps out the Kings coaching staff with videotapes. He helps us on the highlight film, and for all the fans who may be interested, we had all your former colormen there. We had Pete Weber, Rich Murata, who of course is still in town, as is Dan Avey, Ira Festel, who works for KABC. Ira worked on your first hockey broadcast ever when you did the Wisconsin Badgers.
Current Flames coach Bob Johnson was the Badger coach in those days, and so it was quite a night. Thank you very much. All right, third period underway, and the Kings are down 3-2. Let's see if they can get something going here. They're moving right to left. Here comes Hardy up to center ice. He flips it in. The Kings have 44 seconds left to go on a power play. At the right point, puck is held in by Bernie Nichols. Nichols gives it down in the corner to McClellan. McClellan back to Nichols. Nichols to the right point. Nichols passing to Taylor. Taylor shovels it over to Dion. Dion left wing side, Flame zone. Dion still with it. Dion to the blue line to Hardy. To the right point, it goes to Bernie Nichols. Nichols gives it to McClellan. McClellan back up the middle to Hardy. Hardy at the top of the slot. 23 seconds to go on the power play. Back over to Dion, left side. Fakes a shot. Gives it into Taylor. Taylor left side. Taylor flame zone. Back to Dion. Dion in the left circle. Dion still with it. Dion waits. 12 seconds to go on the power play. Dion shoots. Glove save by Edwards, and he hangs on.
Well, Marcel tried to look to his right and shoot back to his left. Don Edwards had a good look at the shot from the top of the left circle. Held on for the faceoff. UCLA has defeated Louisville 75-66 to win the NIT. From New York, UCLA 75, Louisville 66. Congratulations to the Bruins. They are now making some scoring changes. On Crom's goal, the assists are going to Berezin and Hunter, and Cavallini from Otto, which was announced. That stays the same. Berezin from Nilsson and McCowan on the third goal, so add McCowan.
All right, now with only 3 seconds to go on the power play, Flames come back into the Kings zone. Peplinski to the right side, being checked by Engblom, and the power play is over. The Flames are back at full strength. Still 3-2 Calgary. Here come the Kings. Dion up to center, but his poke checked off his stick at the King blue line, taken by Redmond. Redmond gives it over to Engblom. Engblom up to center. His pass all the way down into the Flame zone, and it is picked up by Paul Baxter. Baxter back behind the net. Flames moving left to right. Pass up to center, taken by Hunter. Here's Hunter at the red line. He is bumped by Gary Galley, and now Hunter drives it back behind the King net. Janusek cuts it off there. Kings are trailing 3-2. Third period just underway. Wells comes up the middle. It's poked away from him by Hunter on target, and a stop made by Janusek. And he hangs on for the faceoff with 18:28 left to go in the game. And the Kings had a 1-0 lead in the first period on a goal by Carl Mokosak. Then a 2-0 lead in the second period on a goal by Marcel Dion. And then the Calgary Flames got 3 straight. Crom, Cavallini, and Berezin. And they currently lead 3-2. Face off in the King zone. Out to the right point. Baxter shoots. Stick save. Janusek, and the rebound goes to Bernie Nichols. Nichols circles the net. Comes around the right side. His pass out to center ice. Deflects down into the Flame zone. Chased down by Baxter. Kings have Nichols, Ruskowski, and Fox out on the ice. Pass goes to Tim Hunter. Hunter bumped by Ruskowski. Hunter sends it all the way down the right side into the King zone and back to get it, Gary Galley. Galley bumped by Kerry Wilson. Puck is picked up now by Wells. Wells gets it on the left side to Ruskowski. He gives it to Fox. Fox to the red line. Fox to the right side. Flips it into the Flame zone. Back behind the net. Goaltender Edwards sends it around the boards and out to center ice. Russ Anderson back to get it for the Kings. Anderson to Nichols. Nichols to Ruskowski down the left side. Flame zone to Fox. Fox in deep. Fox in the corner. Fox sends it behind the net to Ruskowski. He's got Nichols in front. Gives it to him. Can't get a shot. Nichols goes to the right side. His pass taken away. Not cleared. Right point. Hardy shoots. Stick save by Edwards. Oh, Nichols was standing right out in front of the net, and Terry Ruskowski went behind the net to get it. Just couldn't get it to Bernie in time for him to get the shot. Now the Kings send it up to center. Tiger Williams comes on the ice. He tried to give it to Sykes on the right side, but he didn't cross center ice. Sykes goes behind the net, and he is pulled down, and no penalty call. Sykes looked like he got hooked behind the net and pulled down as he was going to touch the puck. No penalty call. Let's see if Sykes says anything to the referee. No, he does not. So we have 17:12 left to go in the game, and the Kings are down 3-2.
Mark Hardy with a good scoring chance as he was set up by Bernie Nichols at the right point. Low drive, Don Edwards made the stick save, and the rebound was free in front. But the Flames, who Saturday night did a pretty good job of clearing rebounds in front of Rajon Lemelin, cleared that one. And that's one of the reasons why the Kings haven't had sustained pressure on Don Edwards tonight. The defense for Calgary doing a pretty good job at clearing the rebounds after Edwards makes the first save.
Face off to the right of Edwards. Want to wish a happy birthday to Chuck Milkus. He is listening tonight in San Diego. His brother Gary came by, so happy birthday, Chuck. Puck is cleared by the Flames. Back down into the King zone, and back to get it is Mark Hardy. Hardy goes back behind the net. Eddie Beers into forecheck. 17 minutes to go in the game, and the Kings are down 3-2 after having a 2-0 lead. Hardy passes up to Tiger Williams. Tiger bumps into Phil Sykes, and the Flames are going to hold it in the King zone. Here's Beers from the left side with a shot. Stick saved by Janusek. Puck comes around the boards. Tiger Williams with it on the left wing. Here's Tiger up the center at the red line. He flips it off the right wing board. Sykes chases it down in the Flame zone. Drops it back now to Hardy. Shooting, and it's wide to the right side. Rebound left, right behind his own net. Or excuse me, not Crime, it was Quinn. Dan Quinn deflected it, and now he clears it off the boards all the way back into the King zone. Picked up by the Kings. Russ Anderson ahead to Dion. Dion at the King line. He gives it on the left side to Hardy. Hardy into the flame zone. Hardy down the left side, drops it for Mokosak. Now Hardy again drives it behind the net. It comes around to Dion. Dion in the right wing corner. He's bumped there. Now Richard Crom with it. He clears it ahead to Perry Berezan. He's bumped hard by Tiger Williams in the flame zone. Mokosak digs it out. He gives it to Engblom. His pass in the left wing corner. Dion goes for it. Dion picks it up. He sends it back behind the flame net, but it's going to be intercepted now by Perry Berezan. He gives it to Richard Crom. Here's Crom to the red line. Here's Crom now. Shoots, and a save made by the blocker of Janusek, and the rebound just poked wide. Rebound is back behind the King net now, and we've got Hardy and Berezan battling for it. Crom is tied up by Tiger Williams. Puck taken by the Kings. Back they come 3-on-3 to center. Here is Engblom. Engblom to the left side, into the flame zone. Engblom down the left side, goes in deep in the corner. Engblom behind the net, comes around, centered it, and it's broken up right in front and cleared by Reinhard off the boards back down into the Kings zone. 15-19 left to go in the game. Kings are down 3-2. Here's Mokosak at center. He gives it to Hawkinson. Hawk pulls it ahead to the flame line. Broken up there. Now again, Mokosak, but offside call. Offside called by the linesman, Dan McCourt, as Mokosak got it and was just winding up on the left wing, ready to shoot.
Well, the puck just scooted outside the blue line. Anderson, or rather Hawkinson, along with Mokosak, fighting for possession. The puck bouncing around, and it just skipped outside the line.
Flames ahead 3-2. 15 minutes left to go in the game. Down the left wing into the Kings zone. Joel Otto chases it down. Poking it away from him is Engblom. Kings with it, but they give it away in their own zone again. Here's Otto in the slot. Right side to Poplinski. Shooting, and he hit the side of the net. Partially off the glove of Janusek. J.P. Kelly picks it up. Now look out. A battle for it taken away. Pass in front. Saved by Janusek. Again on the shot by Poplinski. And good work by big Joel Otto.
Well, Otto and Poplinski and Bozak out there putting good pressure on. All three forwards got inside the blue line quickly. They pressured the Kings. Craig Redmond, another giveaway. Poplinski turned, took the pass from Otto, busting into the right circle, took the shot. Janusek was bothered in front by a couple of Flames, made the save, the rebound, and they just kicked it in front. And using his strength and his great reach, Poplinski just muscled a shot in the pads of Janusek, who had to cover up.
Faceoff will be to the right of Bob Janusek. 14:45 left to go in the game. Kings are down 3-2. Dion facing off against Kerry Wilson. Wilson off the Canadian Olympic team. And on the draw right toward Janusek. He sends it behind the net to Galley. Up on the left side to McClellan. Mack clears it to center. Chased down the left side into the flame zone by Dave Taylor. Taylor had it poked away by Kari Eloranta. Now the Flames led back behind the net. Here's Gino Cavallini. He sends it up the right side to Hunter. Hunter flips it all the way down to the King zone. Chased down by Kerry Wilson. He gets around Galley, and a save by Janusek. Diving out to poke it away was Bob Janusek. Good burst of speed by Kerry Wilson down the left side. Now in the left wing corner of the King zone. Dion and Cavallini battle for it. They get dragged down. Puck taken by the Flames. Kerry Wilson to Eloranta. Shooting, and it's deflected in front. Puck is picked up by Wells. Jay plays it hard around the boards in the King zone to McClellan. He clears it out to center. 14 minutes to go in the game, and the Kings are still down 3-2. Here's Kari Eloranta for the Flames, and he sends it behind the King net.
Kerry Wilson, for a big guy, 6'2", 205, really skates well.
Now pass up to center, and Eloranta of Calgary flips it up over the glass into the crowd. We'll be back in 30 seconds. This is Los Angeles Kings Hockey Network. Playing away again. Flames send it down in the King zone, and back to get it. Russ Anderson. Anderson passing up the right side to Fox. His pass ahead now, tipped up to center by Hardy to Ruskowski. Here's Roscoe, gives it to Hardy at the left point. Return pass to Ruskowski, intercepted by the Calgary Flames. Sent up the right side by Reinhart. Now to Beers. Beers pass in front of the King bench, broken up by Ruskowski to Fox. Now to Ruskowski at the King blue line. His pass up to center, tipped to the Calgary line. Conroy with it, lost it to Bernie Nichols. Nichols tried to control it, couldn't do it. Conroy with it again for Calgary. 12:58 to go in the game, and the Kings are down 3-2. Kings take it away at center ice. Fox gives it to Hardy. Now back to Fox. Fox on the right side. He fires it off the left wing boards into the Flame zone. In to get it is Reinhart. Reinhart back behind the net. Kings change up on defense. Out comes Engblom and Craig Redmond. Puck taken by the Calgary Flames. Crom ahead now to Berezan down the middle to with Kent Nielsen. Berezan walking in, sent it in front, and a save by Janusek, and a quick whistle there by the referee Andy Van Helleman.
Well, a good lead pass. Berezan breaking with Nielsen, a 2-on-1, but Berezan, who has a goal and an assist here tonight, tried to feed it in front to Nielsen, who was all alone, but the lone defenseman back was preventing Berezan from doing it. Finally, he did do something with it when he was in deep at the base of the left circle, and his pass was deflected easily into the pads of Janusek.
Faceoff will be to the left of Bob Janusek. Buffalo a winner tonight over the New York Rangers in a game that was snowed out earlier this year in Buffalo. They made it up tonight. Boy, what a race in that Adams division. Quebec 83, Montreal 83, Buffalo 82, and they've all had chances to kind of move into first maybe and put at least a gap of a few points between themselves and second place. And I think it was, what was it, last weekend they all got beat. Face-off in the Kings zone, 3-2 Calgary. Kings had a 2-0 lead, and the Flames came from behind. Puck is back behind the King net, taken by Craig Redmond. Redmond up the right side, leaves it for Tiger Williams. Tiger drops it back to Engblom. Engblom up to the red line. Brian Engblom drives it hard around the boards in the Flame zone. Puck is taken by Dion in the slot. He shoots, saved by Edwards. Dion right in the slot, and Edwards made the save, and the Flames clear it back down into the Kings zone. Now here's Tiger Williams. Williams up across the line. Has to chase his own pass. Now gives it back in the King zone to Engblom on the left side. Now up to Tiger Williams, taken away by McCowan, and he fires it back behind the King net. Boy, Dion got that puck, Nick, right where he usually wants it, right in the slot. Now it comes to Dion. Dion's pass at the Flame line broken up. Back comes Joel Otto for Calgary down the left side. Otto still with it. Waits, gives it in deep to Peplinski, poked away by Engblom. Peplinski sends it behind the net, and Bozak is knocked down in front of the net by Engblom. Puck is cleared back down into the Flame zone. Bozak looks over the referee, wants to know why no penalty called there. 11:29 left to go in the game. 3-2 Calgary. Pass up to the King blue line, broken up by Jay Wells. Wells sends it ahead now to Mokosak. It rolls off of his stick. Bozak intercepts for the Flames. And on the right side, Otto, his pass to the King line, intercepted by Jay Wells. Wells passing on the right side to Mokosak, and offside. The Kings offside at the Calgary blue line with 11:12 left to go in the game. We'll be back in 30 seconds. This is the Los Angeles Kings Hockey Network. Calgary Flames coming left to right. Pass up to center. Here is Kerry Wilson down the left wing. Drops it back for Conroy, and he hit the side of the net. Rebound, Kerry Wilson centers it right in front. Intercepted by the Kings. Back they come. Up to center now. Here is Mokosak. He gives it ahead to Kelly. J.P. Kelly sends it down the right side to Gary Galley. His shot blocked on the way in. Rebound. J.P. Kelly couldn't hold it. Flames come back. Look out. Maybe a 2-on-1. It is. 2-on-1. Wells is back. Down the right side. Cavallini over now to Wilson. His backhander sticked away. Didn't get a good shot. Puck is taken by the Kings. Mokosak back up to center. He gives it to Dion. Dion tried to drop it for Kelly. Intercepted by Baxter. Baxter's pass to the King line broken up by Hardy. He gives it to Russ Anderson. Anderson gives it to Hardy. 10-10 to go in the game. Kings are down 3-2. Here's McClellan at center ice. He's stopped by Eves. Puck is picked up by the Kings. Here's Dion. Dion across the line. Dion down the right side to Mokosak. Mokosak into the corner. He's bumped there, and the puck poked away by Baxter. Flames can't clear it. Held in by Hardy. Hardy at the right point. Hardy sends it down the right side into the corner. Broken up there and cleared by the Calgary Flames. Back out to center as it was cleared by Dan Quinn. Now Russ Anderson in front of the King bench. He gives it to Hardy. Hardy's back in the King zone with 9:39 to go in the game. The Kings are down 3-2. Hardy up to center. Hardy shovels it ahead to Taylor. Taylor across the line. Taylor right side. Tried to get out of the middle, and Baxter poked him out of the way. and the Flames clear it to center. Chased down by the Kings' Mark Hardy. Hardy's pass off the boards in front of the Flame bench, broken up by Richard Crom. Crom sends it to the King line, taken away by Russ Anderson. Anderson gives it to Taylor. Taylor across the Flame line. Taylor drops it for Dion. Dion right side, shoots, blocked on the way in. Back come the Calgary Flames. Richard Crom headmans it down the right side, chased in deep by Kent Nilsson. Nilsson in the corner. Nilsson tried to center it. It was deflected right back toward him. Now he passes to the blue line, taken away by McClellan. It's held in by Perry Berezan at the blue line. Berezan left side, trying to walk in front of the net, gets a shot. Save made by Janusek. Puck is taken by the Kings. Back they come. Here's Taylor. He gives it to McClellan. And now a penalty coming up.
Taylor clipped Crom with a high stick.
8:49 left to go in the game. And Dave Taylor going to go for high sticking. We'll be back in 30 seconds. This is the Los Angeles Kings Hockey Network.
Repeating, Los Angeles penalty, number 18, Dave Taylor, 2 minutes for high sticking, time 11:11.
Dave Taylor for high sticking Crom. Taylor had been out there for a long time, so he was a bit fatigued, and I think he took the penalty out of a little bit of frustration, but he got caught, and the Flames go on the power play for the 5th time, and the Flames preventing the Kings from any offense.
Flames with it. Eads right wing, King zone. Back to the left side to Eloranta, but he didn't get it. Came off the boards, back out to center. 3-2 Calgary. 8.5 minutes to go in the game, and the Flames with a power play now. If the Flames win tonight, the Kings will definitely finish in 4th place in the Smythe Division and open the playoffs April 10th and 11th in Edmonton. April 13th here for sure, and the 14th if necessary. Here's Danny Quinn for the Flames. Out to the right point to Bourgeois. Back to Quinn, right wing. Quinn, his pass. In on the right side to Beers. Back in the right point to Bourgeois. Slides it to Eloranta. He shoots. Stick save, Janusek. Rebound goes over to Eaves. Eaves on the left side. Eaves in the King zone. Feeds it to Eloranta at the blue line. Eloranta back to Eaves. Left wing in the middle to Beers. He scores! Eddie Beers right in the slot. Good movement by the Calgary Flames. A power play goal. And now it's the Calgary Flames 4, the Kings 2.
4 unanswered goals. Eaves to Beers. 1 touch passing by the Flames. They move it around very quickly when the power play is working. Beers was in front of the net. He drifted out high in the slot. No one picked him up before he rifled one over the left shoulder of Bob Janusek. The goal at 12:03.
A goal, his 28th goal of the season, scored by number 27, Eddie Beers. Assist to number 7, Mike Eaves. And number 20, Kerry Eloranta. Time of the goal, 12:03.
So the Flames now with a 4-2 lead. As Nick said, they were down 2-0. They've scored 4 unanswered goals. Now in front of the Flame bench, Tiger Williams checked by Reinhardt. Puck taken by Wells. Wells to Dion. Dion across the line, tried to give it to the Kings, Phil Sykes, and now it comes down into the Kings zone and chased down by Jay Wells. Wells goes behind the net. Wells into the left wing corner. He's checked there by Peplinski. Puck rolls loose. Picked up by Sykes. Sykes comes around the King net, shovels it up to Tiger Williams. Williams bumped as he comes across the King blue line. Puck taken away by Joel Otto. Otto across the line, gives it to the left point to Conroy. Conroy drives it around the right side to Joel Otto. Otto bumped in the corner by the Kings' Gary Galley. Kings dig it out. Here's Dion. Gives it to Wells. Wells up the center. Gave it to Tiger Williams. He tipped it into the Flame zone. 7:12 left to go in the game. Kings are down 4-2. Flames take it away, and back they come. Up to center. Carey Wilson. Wilson against Mark Hardy. Wilson down the left side. Moving around Hardy, and lost the puck as he came in. Hardy knocks Carey Wilson down. Wilson up against the boards. Wilson lost his balance, and then Hardy bumped into him. Now the puck taken by Sykes. Here's Sykes up to center. Here's Sykes down the left wing. Bumped hard as he came across the blue line, and back to get it is Tim Hunter of Calgary.
Bob, the Flames are just skating beautifully now. They're just out skating the Kings up front. The forwards for the Flames just that much better than the forwards of the Kings.
Baxter sends it in behind the King net to Cavallini. Cavallini around the right side, bumped by Hardy. Puck is against the boards, dug out and cleared to center ice by J.P. Kelly, taken away by Calgary. Baxter with it again. He sends it into the King zone. Back to get it is Mokasak. Up to center ice to Hawkinson. Hawkinson to Redmond. Redmond across the line. Redmond is spun around. He flips it into the right wing corner. J.P. Kelly goes for it there. Flames take it away. 6:14 to go in the game. 4-2 Calgary. Up to center ice. Kings have it. Here's Redmond with it. Redmond back across the line. Redmond to the left side. Redmond still with it. His pass right back to Eddie Beers. Beers was trailing the play. Redmond turned around and put it right on Beers' stick. Here's Eaves with it in the Kings zone. Eaves, left side circle. Eaves passing behind the net to Danny Quinn. Quinn picks it up. Quinn around the left side. His pass to the blue line, and Eloranta can't hold it in. Poked out to center by Carl Mokosak and back down into the Flame zone. 5:45 left to go in the game. Kings are down 4-2 after having a 2-0 lead. Engblom's pass to Redmond didn't connect. Kent Nilsson with a shot hit the side of the net from the left side. Here's Quinn behind the net. Rolls it out in front. Taken away by the Kings. Here's Bernie Nichols. Nichols comes up to the blue line. Nichols drops it off to Redmond. Redmond shovels it on the left side to Fox into the Flame zone. Fox in the slot. Right side to Nichols. Shooting blocked on the way in and cleared by Kent Nilsson. Chased down by Perry Berezan. The goaltender Janusek out. Flips it back out to center ice. Loose puck is fought for by Ruskowski, but tipped away from him into the Kings zone. Engblom with it. His pass to Redmond doesn't connect. Berezan holds it in the corner to Kent Nilsson. Nilsson leaves it for Crom. Richard Crom, left side. 5 minutes to go in the game. Kings are down 4-2. Here's Kent Nilsson at the blue line. Drops it back at the left side, and a pass broken up now by the Kings. Craig Redmond sends it out to center. Flames with it again. Back they come. Here's Crom. His pass to Berezan. He didn't get it. Taken away by Jim Fox. 4:45 to go in the game, and the Kings are down 4-2. They had a 2-0 lead on goals by Mokosak and Dion. But since then, it's been all Calgary. Here's Joel Otto taking it away at center ice. He tried to give it to Bozek. Bozek down the left side. Centers it, broken up in front of the net by Engblom.
Well, it's very clear now. The Flames are just out skating the Kings.
Here is Nichols. Nichols, as he tried to jump around Conroy, he got checked. Here's Fox with a shot and a save by Edwards. Puck is against the left wing boards. Flame zone. Picked up by Wells. Wells bumped there. His pass dug out and not cleared. Fox held it in. Now it is cleared. Here's a 2-on-1 again. Bozek down the right side with Conroy. Bozek cutting in. He shoots. Save. Conroy couldn't get the rebound. And in a second, still loose. Now it's picked up by the Kings. Taken by Galley. Ahead to Ruskowski. Roscoe up to center ice. He shovels it to Nichols at the red line. Bernie still with it across the blue line. Nichols shoots and a save by Edwards. And he gathers in the rebound and hangs on. 3:41 to go in the game. Calgary 4, the Kings 2. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is the Los Angeles Kings Hockey Network.
Again, ladies and gentlemen, the Kings will be in Calgary on Friday night. Game will be carried on the KHTV channel.
The fourth goal for the Flames on the power play at 12:03. Beers number 28 from Eaves and Eloranta. It's been all Calgary here in the third period.
Calgary Flames with it again. Up to center ice. Tim Hunter on the right wing. Crosses center ice. Fires it into the left wing corner. King zone and back to get it. Gary Galley. Galley's pass off the boards. Deflects toward the slot. Taken by Jay Wells. Wells comes up the left side. Wells still with it. Wells bumped and knocked down by Kerry Wilson right in front of the King bench.
He's been an impressive performer tonight, Kerry Wilson.
Now Jay Wells with it in the King zone. 3:23 to go in the game. Taken away at center ice by Cavallini. Ahead to Kerry Wilson down the left side. Wells checks him. It's taken by Cavallini on the left wing. Cavallini shoots from a steep angle. It's blocked on the way in. Taken by Taylor. He clears it up to center. 3:08 to go in the game, and the Kings are down 4-2. Here's Taylor with it to the red line. Taylor. His pass broken up. Flames again with it. Hunter at center loses it to Taylor. Taylor's pass deflected up in the air, and McClellan sends it into the King zone, or into the Flame zone. I'm sorry. Taken away by Jamie McCowan. Off to Baxter. Baxter ahead and down the right side. A hard check thrown by Russ Anderson on Danny Quinn. Now down in the right wing corner. Eddie Beers is checked there, and a fight for the puck. Hardy and Beers in the King zone. Quinn tried to dig it out. Quinn does dig it out. Quinn, right wing boards. His pass in front, just hopped over the stick of Eaves. Eaves on the left side. He gives it to Quinn. Shooting and a save off the pads of Janusek. 2:24 to go in the game. Kings are down 4-2. They need a goal and then try and pull the goaltender and go for the tie and send it into overtime. But they're not getting any offensive pressure. Puck is taken by Berezan, but whistled down at the King blue line. We'll be back in 30 seconds. This is the Los Angeles Kings Hockey Network. Calgary Flames come back and into the Kings zone. Kent Nilsson sends it in deep. If the Kings lose tonight, and they're only a minute 57 away from doing so, it'll be the first 4-game losing streak of the year for the Kings. Puck is flipped back down into the Kings zone. Picked up by Engblom. He goes behind the net. He comes around the right side. Brian Engblom for the Kings up to center ice. Kings are down by 2. Engblom sends it into the Flame zone, and it's picked up by Conroy behind the net. He drops it off there. Richard Crom with it. He clears it back out to center. A minute 30 left to go in the game. Back to get it is Engblom. Friday night, same two teams, radio and television, live at 6:20 from Calgary. Now at center, here's Engblom. Engblom comes to the Flame line, gives it to Ruskowski. Engblom gets knocked down on the left wing. Baxter and Ruskowski battle for it. The goaltender is out with a minute 16 to go. The King net is empty. Kings have the extra attacker. Janusek is out. Flames with it in their own zone. Pass on the left wing side. Fox takes it, gives it to Engblom. Tipped away, out to center. Chased down by the Calgary Flames as Redmond tried to get back. And with 1 minute to go, the puck is taken by Tiger Williams. Bozek was trying to beat Redmond to it. Kings come back. Here's Sykes. Sykes down the right side. Comes across the line. The puck taken away by the Flames. 45 seconds left to go in the game, and the Flames clear it back into the Kings zone. Kings hockey being brought to you by your Toyota dealer in the roomy 1985 family Camry, the car the critics raved about, and by Mark C. Bloom. You can't choose the right tire if you don't have a choice. Here's Bernie Nichols across the line down the middle. Nichols in front, and his pass is broken up by Jamie McCowan.
And McCowan upset that Nichols was trying to pry it free right at the whistle. And now we got something going, not with Nichols, but with one of the other Kings out there.
Right behind the Flame net. McCowan got up off the ice, and as you say, he's upset. And trying to get at one of the Kings.
Tiger Williams is in there. Ruskowski is in there.
27 seconds left to go in the game. 4-2 Calgary. Kings hockey being brought to you by Sears Savings Bank. With your Sears Savings Bank checking account, you can lend yourself the money you need to start an IRA at Sears Savings Bank. And by your local Pepsi bottler. Pepsi, the choice of a new generation.
Tim Hunter and Tiger Williams have now separated and started a scrap.
Well, the Tigers got...
Ruskowski was throwing punches at somebody over the shoulder of one of the linesmen, and that's when Hunter and Williams started.
And
Hunter is getting the upper hand on Tiger Williams. He threw some rights, and now he's throwing lefts.
He's thrown quite a few body punches, and now he gets Tiger kind of bent over. Now Tiger gets back and tries to tie up Hunter. They both had their helmets knocked off, and now the linesmen are going to come in and try and separate them. 27 seconds remain in the game. The Kings are trailing 4-2. They had a 2-0 lead when Dion got a power play goal, 5:47 into the second period. And then the Flames came back and scored 4 unanswered goals. They have separated Tim Hunter and Tiger Williams. They'll go to the dressing room. 27 seconds remain in the game. And the Kings.
No, Ruskowski is going with McCowan, is it?
Well, it's hard to see, but Ruskowski jumping all over McCowan. If it is McCowan, I think it is. And oh, he's just throwing about 9 or 10 or more right hands at McCowan.
Andy Van Hellemond is trying to keep Don Edwards from getting into it. Edwards is now grabbing a hold of Mark Hardy. Of course, the situation is the Janusek had been pulled for the extra man, so the Kings have an extra player out there. Van Hellemond has already warned the two benches to stay put, and that's why we saw Edwards get involved, because the Kings had the goaltender pulled, and they had an extra skater out there.
So they have separated Ruskowski and McCowan, and they'll go to the dressing room, and Baxter and Sykes were getting into it.
And now Hardy comes over.
And these two teams have another game left to play Friday night in Calgary.
Well, the Kings have to be a frustrated hockey club as well, because they've had very little pressure on Don Edwards. The Flames have just outplayed them for the most part here tonight. Things have calmed down right now. Sykes, Fox, Hardy, and Nichols for the Kings. The other combatants, Williams and Hunter first, and then Ruskowski along with McCowan secondly. it was Ruskowski, Bob, that was trying to get some right hands over the linesman to McCowan as everything was behind the bench. And Roscoe couldn't really get to McCowan, and that's when Williams and Hunter split apart and started their own matchup. And of course the linesman then had to move over and separate those two, and that allowed Ruskowski and McCowan to get back at each other.
Well, 4-2 Calgary with 27 seconds left to go in the game.
And all of this, of course, is meaningless.
If it ends up this way with the Calgary Flames winning it, it means the Kings will finish in 4th place in the Smythe division and will meet the Edmonton Oilers in the first round of the playoffs, a best 3 out of 5, starting April 10th and another game April 11th, both in Edmonton, and then back here for April 13th and the 14th here at the Forum if a 4th game in the series is necessary. If a 5th game is necessary, it would be played on April 16th back in Edmonton. And of course, everyone remembers that playoff series between the Kings and the Edmonton Oilers 3 years ago in April of 1982, when the Kings upset the Edmonton Oilers. And by the way, on television between periods this Friday night, we're going to replay that great comeback game, the greatest single game comeback in Stanley Cup history, when the Kings were down 5-0 with a period to go here at the Forum. Got 5 goals in the 3rd period, the last one with 5 seconds remaining on a goal by Steve Bozek, who now plays for the Calgary Flames. And then the Kings, Darrell Evans, won it in overtime, 6-5, and the Kings went on to upset the Edmonton Oilers in that playoff series. We'll replay that great comeback game on Friday night.
To number 19, Tim Hunter, 5 minutes for fighting. Number 34, Jamie McCowan, 5 minutes for fighting and a game misconduct. Los Angeles penalties to number 22, Tiger Williams, 5 minutes for fighting. Number 8, Terry Ruskowski, 5 minutes for fighting and a game misconduct. Time of the penalties, 19:33.
Well, Ruskowski and McCowan get game misconducts because their altercation was after the original one between Williams and Hunter. So just 27 seconds left. Again, Williams and Hunter, 5 for fighting. Ruskowski and McCowan, 5 each for fighting and game misconducts.
We'll be on the air on radio and television Friday night from the Olympic Saddledome in Calgary, Alberta, as the Kings and the Calgary Flames meet again. And that'll be live in Southern California at 6:20 on KGIL radio, 1260 on the AM dial, and on Channel 9 television. And then Saturday night, right back here, the Kings take on the Minnesota North Stars. That game, with tickets available, will be broadcast on KGIL and K-Wave FM 108. All right, Kingnet is still open. Janusek is out. Kings with it. Here's Bernie Nichols. Drives it into the Flame zone from center ice. Save made by Edwards as the puck is now cleared up into the Calgary bench. And former King defenseman Bob Murdoch, always a very agile performer, makes a nice move on the bench to get out of the way. He is now the assistant coach for the Calgary Flames. Faceoff is going to be in the Calgary zone with 19 seconds to go. And Nick, a disappointment tonight because for the first period and almost 6 minutes of the second period, the Kings were playing well. Looked like they were certainly able to hold their own with the Calgary Flames, but then all of a sudden, after the Kings took that 2-0 lead, as you say, the Flames really came back and they outskated the Kings.
Well, the Kings started up on the graph and went continually downhill. The other side for the Flames, they started out at the bottom and got better as the game progressed.
So in 19 seconds, we'll know for sure that the Flames will meet the Winnipeg Jets, and the only thing to be decided then is where will they play at the opening series. Shot by Gary Galley from the slot is saved by Edwards. 13 seconds to go in the game. Puck comes into the right wing corner in the Flame zone. Galley with it, right point. Nichols shooting, blocked in front, up the middle. Fox with it to Dion. He spins and shoots, can't get a good shot. 2 seconds to go, and the game is over. And the Kings will meet the Edmonton Oilers in the first round of the Stanley Cup playoffs, and the Calgary Flames will meet the Winnipeg Jets. Winnipeg is leading Vancouver tonight 4-3 in Vancouver as they battle now for second and third place and the home ice advantage in the playoffs. But it will definitely be the Kings and the Edmonton Oilers in the playoffs again this year. We'll be back in 1 minute. The Flames win at 4-2. This is the Los Angeles Kings Hockey Network.
Shots on goal in the third period for your team 6 for a total of 24. For the Flames 10 for a total of 33. And here tonight's 3-star selection chosen by the Sports